the most challenging tracks on the calendar, and this will also be the longest race in terms of time. It'll be up to an hour long tonight, so yeah, the drivers need to be fully ready to go on this one. So yeah, we had we had one of the shortest races of the year in Monza, where it was because of course it's very quick around there. It's almost flat out. Whilst we go straight to Singapore, where it's very long. So yeah, expect up to an hour of racing tonight. So is this the closest you're going to get to endurance racing? This will be, as I just quickly shared the link. So that's why I'm going to go quiet, because as you all know, I can't do two things at once because I just haven't got the brain capacity. So 1 second. As you can see, we're just getting the drivers all we're almost ready to go then, as well as we're just taking a look at the track in the background there. As you can see, 23 corners are around this street circuit. It's mostly on the streets of Singapore, but the start and finish straight is a full-time track. So yeah, that's a bit of information for you. So but apart from that, and the rest of it is all based on the streets of Singapore, and there's no runoff areas. If you joined us last night, we had a thrilling race last night, as we had short quali, which shook up the results quite a bit there. As you can tell, I'm still trying to send the link over. I mean, how long does it take to send the link over? Blimey, sort yourself out. There we go. Right, now I can get fully focused on the main job ahead tonight. Then, of course, there's no football on tonight. Even though, having said that, the man who's second in the championship at the moment, Blas, is off watching Maribor tonight. So yeah, I hope that's a good match. And of course, we also haven't got Dave Shaw either, as he is enjoying his honeymoon. He was in Paris earlier this week, just outside the FIA building, and hopefully we're in there and give those guys a bit of a stern talking to of how to get F1 right. Not just F1, it's other motorsports as well. You can see we have 16 drivers in the lobby. But yeah, we got the tyre selection tonight. Possibly we might be seeing all 5 tyre selections. We could be Hypersoft, the Ultrasoft, the Soft, the Intermediates, and the Wets. The weather around here tends to get a bit varied and interesting, as we are now ready to go. As we got 17 drivers in this. We got 16 drivers in the lobby. So this is going to get very tight. Of course, we had 12 in here yesterday, and to be fair to the elite guys, that was very good in terms of I think it was just after half distance where we had our first retirement. So well done to those guys there, really showing their mettle. Of course, there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more difficult tonight though, because there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more because there's more cars on track. It's going to be a lot more carnage. Of course, Lennon, who drove in the elite race yesterday, had a very fine race as well. Him and Andy Coe had a brilliant battle for most of the race. I think it was from like 4 or 5 onwards. It was amazing stuff to see. Of course, he didn't get invited to the race, so he's not angry. He's just disappointed. That's one of my favourite sayings, that is. You know when you're in trouble when you say that. I used to use it on my little nephews all the time. Unfortunately, it don't work anymore. They just think I'm a giant joke. Anyway, we're almost ready to go then. So we're going into qualifying, and I think qualifying is slightly different from last night. If you joined us last night, we had one session of qualifying, so 18 minutes long, and the strategy was basically straight away. Tonight, it's going to be in 3 stages. Of course, if you're a regular viewer of Formula One and IRC, you'll know that we will have 3 qualifying sessions: Q1, Q2, Q3. And you can see we've got 16 drivers in here. Of course, this is a night race, the first ever night race on the Formula One calendar, way back in 2008. And and then, of course, if anyone remembers that, and we've not that bad as retired from the session. Is that? I think it might have a penalty, to be honest. I should really read up on this, shouldn't I? I need to be a bit more of an expert, really. So to be honest, Q1 is going to be more of a practice session. This is just like tuning the car in, which is good because it gives us enough time to talk about some history and the runners and riders around here. We've got a car out there already. I think it was it's one of the Toro Rossos. It is Snap. Of course, the other his teammate is enjoying the football tonight and supporting Maribor. I think he's a supporter of Maribor, isn't he? I hope so. Snap with the distinctive orange helmet. On the pits now. So of course, one of the fan favourites, of course, Snap is. No, hopefully he can get some points tonight as well. So, but he's got a long race ahead of him. And of course, as we said, this race can go up to an hour. So this is the longest race of the season. And if we get safety cars in there as well, and you can see from the barriers, I reckon we will get a safety car. We didn't have one last night, but of course, they remember that they were very good last night, those drivers. Unfortunately, by a couple of mishaps there. Yeah, going back to last night's race, brilliant racing as well. Got a yellow flag to sector 1, and it's that there was a Williams just behind. Oh no, it's that. I think that might be Burgess is out of qualifying already. Well, that's not good, is it? That is a bitter blow then. I'm not sure if I won't be getting excited here for no reason at all, but I'm sure he came out the pits. But anyway, so we've lost 2 drivers already, so it's not that bad. And a Birds, who's in the Williams, or Birds is. How hard is it to say his name? Blimey. Sort myself out. I had the same problem last week. We're on board with Broke Gorilla, one of the newer members of IRC, of course, joined quite joined back in Hungary. So yeah, so hopefully, to be honest, I think we was talking to Broke Gorilla, wasn't we? Just after the race, just chatting to him, and he was saying he went the wrong way on strategy in Hungary. He had a much better race in Belgium. And of course, in Italy as well, he had a very eventful race in Italy, didn't he? So, yeah, of course, Snap was way up there as well in Italy, wasn't he? He was, very close to where the Snap is, as now he's coming on the first DRS zone. There are 2 DRS zones around here, on the finish straight, and coming down here as well. You've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Is someone just having an adventure? Possibly. We also need to talk about the pit lane as well in a second. Anyway, yeah, going back for the third time, going back to the Elite League last night. I'm not gonna. Well, I'm gonna try not to spoil it for everyone. But yeah, it was a great race and a brilliant strategy calls as well. Of course, with the Vanquish did return after his holiday last night, and it was a brilliant drive from Vanquish. Very some very misfortunes as well of other drivers there last night. And as we said, Lennon, who just commented on the stream, was had a great battle with Andy. We had some amazing battles as well last night. But yeah, I would advise after this stream, after this race ends tonight, go back and watch it. It was brilliant, and to be honest, I have no doubt that this race will be just as good as well. So we're just on board Snapland, so he's going to be the first one to set a time, I believe. So as he comes under, that's a unique feature of the Singapore circuit. If you go under the grandstand, now coming out of 21, Snap is not pushing that hard yet because he's giving the barrier a lot of leeway. Into 22 and 23 now, comes across the line, the start finish line comes up quite quickly, and he's on the Hypersoft tire, and he invalidates that time, so he's going to have another bash. On board with Double now, of course. Double is known for his consistency, but Sven goes fastest. Of course, we got to give big props to Sven. I keep saying it in the last couple of weeks, but he is flying in that Red Bull. Of course, his teammate Dave Shaw having been with us for the last couple of races. Hunter is up into first position. Sorry, a 1:36.9 for Hunter. Decent time there. Oh, and he's sporting a new black and red helmet there. Hunter is, so nicely done there. And no, actually, is it? I think it might be the Nicky Lauda Chrome helmet you had last week. I might have just been deceived there. It's not easy to deceive me, is it? Come around the final couple of corners, and then here's Matt, who's just getting his eye in there. Of course, I think he's actually starting the lap, so I think I was a bit too early on that one. I'm watching Physico now in the Williams. So he's coming around the final couple of corners then. So what's Physico going to do? He comes across the line. He goes third fastest on 1:38.8 at the moment. Who else we got? We got Koga out in the Ferrari. He would like to get to the end of the race and score some decent points. We got Steve Penny, who, of course, as we keep saying, he is. Whoa! I thought he looked on the rears there, a bit wide there. But Penny up into second position, 1:37.5. It's a good time there from the Sauber driver. Of course, next year will be known as the Alfa Romeo. As Matt now, Murphy coming down the back straight. Snap has done a second lap, was much better for Snap. He's done a time of 1:39.3 for Snap. That's 2 laps on the on Hypersoft tyres. So remember, the tyre selection tonight is Hypersoft, Ultrasoft and Soft tyre. Physico done his time on the Ultrasoft tyre, so we must remember that. Remember, this is where all these guys are through if they can just set a time, so don't expect any spectacular times just yet. They just want to get a time to get through into as Asdog goes for fastest. Now what does that Kogat do? He goes 7 fastest at the moment on a 1:45. Here comes Matt now, yellow flag in sector 1. I'm hoping that someone just cruising out the way. Roscoe just started that. There's a Force India coming into the pits, of course. Force India have changed their name for next season as well. Going around the final couple of corners, and Matt goes, well, he's invalidated his lap there, Matt has, so he's going to have another crack at this. On board with Broke Gorilla, and of course that's championship leader Price, who's just coming in pit. Double goes 7 fast at the moment on 1:39.9. So as you can see, a bit of a field spread at the moment, and Murphy though just bangs in a 1:36.5. They're throwing the gauntlet down there, Murphy is in the Mercedes. So a good time there for Murphy. 4 tenths of a second quicker than Hunter in second at the moment. Oh, Gorilla there touching the wall there slightly. Roscoe's out. Matt's also going around as well. So who are we going to see first? Is we're going to stay on board with Roscoe. I'm going over the Anderson Bridge. Coming on the Raffles Boulevard, going a bit wide there. We got Koga just in front of us, and he gets out of the way now, so that's very good awareness. And of course, we've also got Asdog out there as well in the Haas, I believe. So he's also getting out of the way of Koga as well. So we're back on board with Roscoe. Brilliant drive for Roscoe in the Italian Grand Prix last time out. Absolutely amazing stuff. I think that was his first win in IRC. Hopefully, I'm hoping that. Well, I kind of hope that, right? Because I hope that Roscoe's had some good success, but I hope I'm right in terms of my facts. Otherwise, if not, well, send me my P45. And coming around the final couple of corners now. So there, but Roscoe had an amazing race in Italy. Somehow got those tyres to last 23 laps. No, wasn't it? It was a very long time because safety car came out and caused havoc to the strategy. But Roscoe fended off Hunter, who was on a fresh set of boots. It was brilliant racing. And a brilliant strategy call from Roscoe as well. So yeah, he's up to 5th at the moment, and we're just coming through as Matt's now in the pits. We got 4 drivers around set time. We got Harry is not, who's out, and also we got Not That Bad, who's out as well. Of course, they haven't set a time, so they're both out of qualifying. Just watching Broke Gorilla now. Of course, still sporting the Nicky Lauda helmet. Of course, Nicky Lauda's funeral was. I think it was yesterday, of course, we lost the 3-time world champion, unfortunately, last week. And we've lost a great character, haven't we, in Formula 1? The 3-time world champion. And we did have some amazing tributes from both Elite and Super guys last week. And as Gorilla comes around the final corner there, this is a very competitive time from Gorilla. He goes up to 4th, and a decent time as well for Gorilla. Snap has retired. I hope that he's just called it a day rather than actually hit the barrier. We're on board with Broke Gorilla now. As he's just coming on the back straight. Oh, tapping the wall there. That's how easy it is to tap the wall here. If the walls are very close together, very close on this track. You cannot be. It's a very tough track. It's and Broke Gorilla there just getting a bit of a swapper on. Kumquat is out again. The championship leader is, and could potentially extend his lead in the championship as well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for Kumquat then. So in the wall there, of course. Yeah, he's been very unlucky in this season as well, hasn't he? Well, Blas has not won as many races as he has Kumquat, but Blas's consistency has been amazing. That's why he's up there. He's always there or thereabouts, Blas's, so he's got amazing consistency. Kumquat has got speed, and sometimes I think it's a bit of Lewis Hamilton sometimes, isn't it? Where the early Lewis Hamilton, where he's got speed, and then sometimes unfortunately ends up in the wall. I must admit, recently though he has been immense, hasn't he? Up until Monza, he had a 5-race winning streak, I believe, which is impressive as well. So in the second half of the season, he's definitely really pulled his socks up, hasn't he? And he's now, I think he's just on his outlap here. He's on the Hypersoft tyre, which matches his pink car beautifully. And then now coming on to the end of the lap now, so he's going to have another crack then to see what he can do. At the moment, the target time, the benchmark is a 1:36.5 coming under the grandstand. Yeah, so amazing. Of course, at the beginning of the season, he retired. He didn't even turn. I think he got to turn 2 in Australia before retiring. And I think Azerbaijan was probably the one where he might have, where probably felt a bit gutted after that, because now he is just cruising at the moment. So he's up into third position at the moment. Kunquat is the championship leader. Is he going to? He's going to go all out. As Roscoe goes up in the fourth, and in the McLaren, his teammates out there as well have just he's starting lap now. Steve, formerly known as Steve Wolves, now Steve is coming into the modified turn 11 and 12, going over the Anderson Bridge. And to be honest, they really tightened up that. We got a yellow flag out there. I'm not sure who that's for. Yeah, they tightened up that sector, didn't they? They used to be the Singapore Sling, didn't they? Turned in 10, 11 and 12, and then the chicane was a lot more open, but unfortunately they modified the track. I like the Singapore Sling. It was quite good. We've seen a lot of drivers on the wall around there. Kimi Räikkönen was the first guy that comes to mind. We got Kobayashi launching his Sauber into the wall one year. I think he qualified and pushed way too hard. 2011, 2012? I can't remember, but yeah, he went flying into the wall. Räikkönen, I think, was 2008. And he's had a difficult year that year, wasn't he, Kimi? Coming around turn 22 and 23, he has 23 turns around this circuit. It's a busy circuit. But what's Steve do? He goes second. A good time there from us. He was watching the end of the lap there, looking very in control and looking very confident in that McLaren. So Steve might be definitely what we want to watch out for here in this race event. So he's just all these guys, remember, are through. This is just to get your eye in and seeing how the car feels. See, Penny is in 6th position at the moment. We're just on board with him now. Broke Corilla's out there as well. Remember, if you damage a car, you're out of qualifying now. So remember, these guys are trying to get their eye in, but at the same time, they do not want to terminally damage their car. Otherwise, then that's game over. And around this track is going to be, well, I'd say it's very difficult to win, but Alonso won from 15th on the grid here. Yeah, so that's kind of got a black mark next to it because of Crashgate. Matt goes up to 9th position now on a 1:37.9. He's done 3 laps on those Hypersoft tyres. We're just on board with Kogat now, number car 22. He's going on the grandstand, so he's just having a just getting his tyres warmed up there. He's lost a lot of hers there. He needs to harvest some more, I think, and then get himself back out there. Where's he coming in the pits? Has he got a problem here? He's I think he's just coming in the pits then. So Kogat coming into the pits, and you can see the pit line comes up very quickly on this when you fly around there. You can see the foreign mechanics are ready for Kogat as he's just turned off in there now. So he's back in the pits. We've got 3 minutes to go. And I think that, yeah, so I think that that's kind of the first, well, it's really a practice session, isn't it? So, really to kind of see where your pace is at. As so we've got also Stio in the pits as well. I think the only man out there at the moment is Broke Gorilla, and also we've got Matt, who's just coming back to the pits. On board Broke Gorilla now in the Renault. His teammate, not that bad, is unfortunately not qualifying tonight. You can see coming into that new modified section. I think that was modified back in 2014, wasn't it? Over the Anderson Bridge now. Of course, I think he's got wide there, and he damaged his front wing. I think he's damaged his front wing. He did have a tap, didn't he? So he might have damaged the end plate there, and of course, it is possible to drive around it. I mean, Andy drove around it beautifully well last night, didn't he? I thought that when he damaged his front wing, I thought it would have been the kind of end of the game, really. Would have come straight back, come into the pits, but he took a couple of laps for coming into the pits, which, you can see that was just the understeer effect there from Gorilla, so he just needs to be careful as he's coming back to the pit. But, yeah, so yeah, I would say that if you damage, because I remember when I used to damage my front wing, it just really affected me. It did. It was, sometimes when you damage a car, you get a bit more affected than you possibly should. As Steve retires whilst he's in the pits, as Gorilla's in now as well. So all the guys are in the pits, and there is and now then we got a 2 minute lull before we go into Q2. Remember, Q2 is this is where the strategy begins in Q2. Of course, the top 10 will have to start on the tyres which they set their fastest laps on. So they're going to go to the hyper, or they're going to go to the ultra soft, maybe in the soft. But the delta between all three tyres is going to be quite a big difference. And remember, we said last night how big the undercut is as well. It's very big. So yeah, you cannot be you don't want to be as Kogut's back out there in the Ferrari. Yeah, you don't want to be caught napping around here, do you? But yeah, that's how big the we've seen. I think it was a 3-second gap, wasn't it? And of course, after Jamie, who was driving the McLaren last night, was way out in front. To be honest, and not, to be honest, I was quite oblivious to it. I thought he was going to come out in front of NWB in the battle in the mid pack whilst strategy kind of shook it all up. But yeah, he come out a little further behind than what I thought he'd be. Of course, I ain't gonna give the race result, even though I've kind of given you like little spoilers here and there. But yeah, I definitely advise going back and watch this. Watch it. But of course, you gotta watch this one first. You can see a lovely camera shot there of the chicane. You can see the sleeping policeman. Are they still called the sleeping policeman? Well, in my day they were, so they still are. You can see going under the very tight chicane there. There's a couple of drivers have crashed. Physico's retired, but don't worry, he's in the pit lane, I believe. The other man out on track. Oh, Penny's out there as well now. So yeah, these guys then are just I would say there's going to be a bit of a track law, but no, these guys are definitely trying to get themselves dialed in. And Steve Penny thinks he can go faster, of course, in the Sauber, or the Alfa Romeo Sauber is their full official title. And now then just come to start, start the lap now, into turn 5 now. And now coming down the, this is of course the second of the DRS zone, so a sweep in turn 6, don't really need to worry about that. Even with the DRS open into turn 7 now, of course this is a corner where we've seen Hamilton come together with Webber, I remember rightly, and then of course Schumacher came together with Verne there. And of course out of turn 8 into turn 9 now, of course, so you'll get this corner absolutely right for another straight, and this is now coming into turn 10. It used to be the single course thing, but unfortunately it's now just a bit of a boring turn, and then into the very tight chicane, then coming over the Anderson Bridge and into a very, and we've got a yellow flag out there. It's Penny who's looks like he might have visited the car park there, so I don't think he's damaged his Sauber as such, and he might be coming in now. So yeah, so just watching Kogut now. So Kogut, just seeing how he's doing. You can see not a lot of steering input there, which is what you need. Oh, and then touching the outside barrier there, and yeah, the question that we got is whether it's going to be wet or dry. Well, to be honest, we'll have a big clue in Q2 of what cars are going. If everyone goes on the Hypersofts, then you would assume that it's a wet race or a wet start to the race. But of course, because I think the experts were saying that you shouldn't really go on the Hypersofts because, to be honest, it's not a race winning strategy going on the Hypersofts. But then again, what do I know? But yeah, but you also want to be far up the field as well, don't you? So you can, because the midfield area is a very dangerous place to be. I know very well, and so yeah, you could lose your wing and of course lose momentum. And you don't really want to be pitting so early on in the start of the in the start of the race, do you? Really, you want to be there or thereabouts. So, but I say that it's not a race winning strategy. Who knows? Who knows? If you're quick enough, you can make any strategy work, can't you? Well, that's my belief anyway. But we're just staying on board with Kogut now, so that's the end of Q1 over with. And Kogut finishes 14th at the moment, so that's the last of the guy that's posted the time so far. And as you see, we've already lost. We lost 2 drivers right at the beginning of that session. We lost Harry, and we also lost. Not that bad as well. Of course, not that bad is actually a 3rd in the championship, I believe. So, to be honest, he's also been very consistent as well. I think he's got an outside. I think he's a bit. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but he is a bit much of an outsider in the championship race. But you never know. I'm just trying to make sure that. Yeah, sorry. I thought you had a comment on the stream there, but for some reason I haven't seen it. And you know, me and technology is not very good, which is not a very good thing to admit because I work in IT apparently. Anyway, going into Q2 now then. So this is where the strategy begins. We got 15 minutes to determine the. We do have a comment, but I can't see it. Sorry about that, guys. My YouTube's a bit naff. Anyway, yeah, we've got 15 minutes in this second session. To be honest, that comment might be very important. It might actually make me look very clever. And as we've just seen the Mercedes guys there's a lot of activity in the Mercedes garage, and I can see that they're on the ultra soft tyres. That's Matt on the ultra soft tyres. He is on the ultra soft tyres as he screams out the pit lane, as does his teammate. We've got a very busy pit lane there as they're all coming out. So we got the championship leader Kumquat out. We got Murphy, who's on the hypersofts. Is he just going to tease us there and just see how he gets on there? Double looks like he's the first man out at the moment. He's just in front of Asdog. So Asdog will probably want to drop back now. So Double though is always goes for it straight from the off. So there's no playing around with Double. He's out there straight away, puts his toe down, and he's away. So and to be honest, Double has shown some decent pace in qualifying, hasn't he? So and to be honest, he is Mr. Consistent, isn't he? He's there or thereabouts. Yeah, I think he doesn't have many DNFs, does he, Double? So, and to be honest, when he does have a DNF, it's usually not his fault. It's usually usually just is in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so Double's got a nice clean track. He's on the stickiest tyres, so he wants to get in there, get his lap done, and see what the others can do. Just on board now with Double coming down Raffles Boulevard. I think Asdog has dropped away because he doesn't want to be in the dirty air of the Sauber. You can see we've got the Force and Kumquat behind Asdog, so they're all bunching up a bit there. And, so they're going to struggle to get a clean lap in. Remember, if you're starting in the top 10, you must start on the tyres that you set the fastest lap on. And it looks like that there is no weather around. So yeah, so I think, well, there is weather obviously, because yeah. But there is no rain around then, or tropical thunderstorms or whatever is around this part of the world. Now coming around the final 22 and 23, and you can see keeping well within inside track limits. Track limits can be a bit brutal around here sometimes. That's how much Asdog has dropped 5 seconds back. That's about a good time not to be involved in the dirty air zone. The dirty air zone, of course, they were saying about it in I think it was earlier this year, wasn't it? I think in pre-season testing, where Hamilton, I think it was Hamilton. No, it was Hamilton or Ricardo was saying about you have to be 5 seconds back, and you still kind of can feel the dirty air come out the back of the car. We're on board Double down turn 7 now. And let's see how he's doing at the moment. And so he's really attacking on this lap, Double. He wants to get this in early and quickly. At the moment, Sauber are bottom of the constructors, unfortunately, but yeah, it's been a kind of a combination of missed opportunities and even missed and sometimes a bit of bad luck, going a bit wide in 11 and 12 there over the Anderson Bridge now into the very tricky turn 13. Of course, Massa had one of the best overtaking maneuvers ever. It did start as an overtaking maneuver between him and Bruno Senna, but definitely ended up as I think Bruno Senna kind of squeezed him, didn't he? And that was 2012. That was a brilliant overtaking maneuver, that was. So yeah, and now coming into the final sector of the lap now. So of course this track is broken into 3 sectors, as all of them. So and we get checkpoints to see how their progress is doing. And Double is now in the final part of that, the final part of the 3 sectors, into the very tight final sector, which is kind of a point and squirt kind of part of the track. And now coming through, as you can see, giving that very wide berth, and he goes on to just 1:38. Decent time now from Double. He improves his time quite nicely. Asdog goes fast on a 1:38.3. He's on the ultra soft tyre. I can't wait till Matt goes on 1:37.7 there from Matt. Of course, he can be a bit of a street specialist, Matt, can he? He's definitely used to be very good around. He's very confident around Baku. So and this is is it a similar place to Baku? Well, apart from the bars are closed. But in a street environment, he's very handy. Here comes Snap now across the line, and Snap goes full fast. Of course, he's on the ultra soft tyres. Well, everyone is on the ultra soft tyres that have set a lap so far, apart from Double. Here comes Steve now, who's just started his lap. Who else is out there? We've got Sven. And I think Sven's about to start his lap as well. He's on the ultra soft tyre as well. Because Sven has been a regular top 10 qualifier in the last couple of races. He's really pulled up his socks, hasn't he? And he's really been really impressive. Lovely aerial shot there. You can see, look at that. I think that was a Haas going through. And we're just watching Steve now. He's in the second sector. So come down turn 10. We got a yellow flag out there. Hopefully it's just someone just pulling out the way. There's a Physico who's on the soft tyre, so that's the hardest of the 3 compounds. Of course, we are missing a tyre in between, so it goes from the ultra soft to the soft tyre, which usually it goes from the ultra soft to the super soft, but of course and that's a 39.5 there. I'm not sure if that's going to keep him in the top 10, but he's definitely he's definitely having a go at it, isn't he? Oh, and Steeler getting very close to the wall. Did he damage his car? I'm not sure. Matt goes faster still on 1:37.0, so he's done 2 laps on those ultra soft tires. Remember, this track can be a bit of a tire eater, and you don't do as many laps on there. Steve is looking very handy at the moment, isn't he? He's done a 1:37.3 on his opening lap. Decent stuff there from Steve. I think Sven loved the camera shot. I love that camera shot. And to us, they used to have a camera shot in Austria, didn't they? Where it was on the final corner, and the cars used to just fly over it. It was a brilliant camera shot, and yeah, shows the viciousness of these cars, don't they? And so Sven getting very close to the wall there. And that's what you need to get a good time around here. So Sven really bringing out all the guns now, and he is up into 4th position. Good stuff there from Sven. Really on it in that lap. Great to see. We've got 2 McLarens there. I don't think they're going to try the tow around here. It would not be advised. But I'm not sure if we're just in a Physico in the wall there. But here's Roscoe now, and is he on a lap? Well, we got your flag in sector 2. Who is that? Hopefully it's oh dear. Well, yeah, there was a yellow flag. Broke Gorilla's out there now as well. Kogut coming out, but Roscoe is being hindered slightly, but he's not really on a quick lap as of yet. So he's just on an out lap at the moment. His teammate Steve, who's up in 2nd position already. Is that going to be enough to stay in the top 10? Well, I'm a very amateur guess of mine. I would say yes, but I've got no evidence to back that up. Of course, there's a whole second between Steve and Asdog at the moment. Of course, and now we can see we've got another yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. So we've got to keep an eye out for these yellow flags, remember, because the bar is so close together. One, you can see the Marina Bay in the background there. Yeah, you got to keep. This is a very hard track for concentration stuff. This is probably, to be honest, I must admit, I find Monaco very difficult indeed, and I think I would prefer this track as Hunter's just come out of the pit lane now. As the pit here does, the pit lane does actually feed into the racing line as such. On board is Roscoe now on the DRS. I think, unfortunately, Roscoe was a victim of my antics in Monaco. Hopefully he doesn't hold a grudge. But anyway, as we're down to turn 7 now, he's gone a bit wide there. Is that going to be a track infringement? I don't think it is. It isn't normally, but my compromise is running into turn 8. So as he's coming through into turn 9. And you can see all these white lines. You can tell it's a road, can't you? Look at all the road markings on there. Those white lines can be very treacherous during the wet. You don't really want to be accelerating on those yellow lines. So just make sure that no one's visiting the wall. As Roscoe, I think Roscoe's abandoned that lap, hasn't he? As to be honest, we've seen a couple of errors there, and there's Williams also cruising as a Physico, who's done 2 laps and. Has he run out of fuel, Physico? It looks like he's well, he's in that limpo mode, isn't he? There, and he's definitely limping home. We just seen Broke Gorilla go up into 4th position in the Renault. Good time there from Broke Gorilla. He's going all out as well, so no messing with Broke Gorilla either. He's right up there on the hyper soft tyres, going for more of an attacker strategy. Of course, he will also get a good launch off the line there. Koga is out there as well. Well, what's Price doing? The championship leader, he's on the ultra soft tyre, so of course he wants to go longer in the race, and he is just starting his lap now. So I think I was a bit too early there. On board with Murphy. Penny is on the soft tyre at the moment. He's only got 5 minutes to go, so yeah, Penny leaving it quite late there if he wants to start on the soft tyre. So he hasn't given himself much room for error here. This is quite a long lap around here. You can see we're touching 1:37. Time mark, so it is quite a marathon. This track is. Also, as we said, there are 23 turns around here as well. it does really wear you out. So hope these guys got plenty of water. Yeah, I used to. I think this is Malaysia used to be one of the toughest. Was probably one of the toughest tracks on the calendar in terms of like in terms of the F1 drivers actually sweating. Things like Murphy goes third fastest. He's just 3/10 behind his teammate there. So both Mercedes looking quite strong in this qualifying session. Penny's into the pit, so he's not really keen on those soft tyres. What's Kogat doing? We're on the final corner now, giving a lot of curve there. I think that you can go a bit quicker in the final couple of corners there, Kogat. But then again, I think he just wants to stay out of trouble. And this is one of the tracks where you can stay out of trouble and score some good points there. So I think the consistency is the key. So Koga in double might have an advantage in terms of just being consistent. We got Hunter who's coming around the final couple of corners now. And of course in that lovely chrome helmet there. Look at how close, that's how close you've got to get to the barriers for a good time right there into 22 and 23. He comes across the line, and he's gone second fast at the moment, decent time. What about the championship leader, Price? He comes across the line and he's gone first on a 1:36.5 there on the ultra soft tyres. That's half a second quicker than Matt. And well, that's a very good time there from Price. That's that is definitely really from the gauntlet down, hasn't it? At the moment, then we've got Physico who is in the pits at the moment, so he needs to come out. He's currently in the drop zone. Also in the drop zone at the moment is Kogat. Roscoe's on an outlap, and Penny who needs to think about getting out there because he hasn't set a time yet either, nor is Roscoe. We're just on board then with Price, who's just cruising at the moment. So let's take a look at car for Roscoe. Of course, he's in the same car as his he's got the same number as Landon Norris. Of course, come on, one of my favourite drivers, isn't he? He loves a good old sim racing as well. And him and Max Verstappen, I think, compete in the Bathurst earlier on this year, which is pretty cool to see. And yeah, so yeah, you see his setup is amazing, isn't it? He's got like three screens, proper professional. Me when I'm still on the pad. Oh yeah, one day I might get a steering wheel. But yeah, I might be far away at the moment. We're just watching Roscoe then. He's just getting himself psyched up and ready to go on this. He's got 2.5 minutes to go. That's a Steve Penny. So this is where the track's going to get a bit interesting. Snapping Physico out. Still in the pit. So in is Double and Sven and Broke Gorilla. And yeah, they feeling safe. Oh, Broke Gorilla's out now. We've got 2 minutes to go. I would say that Sven and Double needs to come out as well. As Dog. I think Asdog might need to come out as well, possibly. Well, I would like to be out just on the safe side. They don't want to do a Ferrari, do they? But then again, I think these guys are a bit more intelligent than Ferrari, really. Because sometimes you think of Ferrari's strategy calls this season have just been pretty appalling, really, haven't they? I don't know what's it's very hard to make a decision in the heat of the moment, though, isn't it? But sometimes it is kind of blatantly obvious. As Ferrari have unfortunately have done stuff like this in the past, haven't they, where they've just made wrong strategy calls. Abu Dhabi 2010, for example. To be honest, Abu Dhabi 2010, I probably would have pitted as well, because of course they were keeping their focus on Mark Webber rather than Sebastian Vettel. But they probably didn't expect to be stuck behind the one and only Petrov. So yeah, but yeah, that's just one of them that comes to mind. Well, but anyway, now let's get back to this Singapore Grand Prix. We've got a couple of yellow flags floating out about that. In the top left-hand side, you can see yellow flag sector 3. I think it's just guys just trying to get out of people's way, queuing up. So we might have a bit of a traffic jam into the final sector. Talking of the final sector, Roscoe is coming through the final sector now, so he's just started up. There's a big old curb on the exit of I think that's turn 14. So we're into 15 and 16 now, and then to 17 and 18, so we're going into the grandstand here, 17 and 18, of course, that corner, so I must admit, I really get caught out by that corner. I seem to just go straight on there, which is, at least Ricardo's got caught out there as well. Oh, Roscoe, bit of snap of oversteer there, coming into 22 and 23 now. You can see he's taking a lot more speed then coming through the final corner, and he's gone up to second, a decent time. He's on the Hypersoft tyre, and yeah, he's a 10th away from Price, so that just shows how good Kun Quat is. Do I hear the Elite League calling? So yeah, of course Price is starting to is really thinking about stretching his He's really stretching his lead here this weekend. Kogat has finished his lap, unfortunately. Physica, what's he doing? He's gone very wide there, and I think that might be game over. It is. So unfortunately, Snap is also out as well. Double is still in the pits. Broke Gorilla's out there. So what can Penny do? Penny is on a flying lap now. Then, so it looks like. So yeah, it's between Double and Penny, the two salvage drivers. Who's going to get through? Penny takes a water cloaker line, and he's in there. He's done it. So a 10th for a second, and he is popped it into Q3 on the very last lap, and that was on the ultra soft tires. Brilliant effort from Penny in car 57. Amazing stuff. So he's just in front of his teammate Double there, and cool. But Double is starting in a very good position in 11th position, so he will have fresh tires, and he has a choice out of the soft, the ultra soft, or the hyper soft. And, so good time there from Penny. Right, that's a man who doesn't feel pressure. Brilliant stuff. Maybe you should be in the Ferrari strategy seat. Incredible stuff from Penny there, up into 10th position, and we're just going to go through the grid now. Then, so as Penny just cruised down the back straight into turn 7. So the guys that are out then is Koga in 14th position. We got Physico in 30th position. He unfortunately he only had a time on the soft tyre there, so. I think the Physico, wonder if he should have allowed more time there, but he's still all these guys still in a good chance of the race. Remember, race is almost an hour long. I keep saying that, but it's very, very long, this race is, and that's without a safety car. Snap in 12th position there, and Double there just getting pinched there, and just getting knocked out right at the death. So Penny we're on board with now, just going over the Anderson Bridge, and he is into Q3. So we're going to see Steve Penny in a minute. Yeah, so this is the results then. So Kumquat on the ultra soft tires, Roscoe getting in on the hypersoft there, Matt doing his 4/10 away on the ultra soft as well. Hunter 4th ultra softs for Steve as well. Murphy also on the ultra softs for Asdog as well. Broke Gorilla on the hypersoft. We've only got 2 guys in the top 10 on the hypersoft, very similar to last night. We only had 2 guys in the top 10 last night as well on the hypersoft. Then we had Sven in 9th, a good drive from Sven again. Once again in Q3, he's becoming a Q3 regular now. Sven is flying the flag for Red Bull, and then Penny, who of course just sneaked in Q10. Q10, oh well, that's gonna be a long qualifying session. Into P10 in the last dying minutes of qualifying. So here we go then, Q3. This is where I think tyre selection is probably not really any guesses of who's going to go on to what. So no prizes, unfortunately, guys. So I figure everyone will be on the hypersoft tyre. Remember that they get a new set of boots for this Q3, so it encourages everyone to go out at least once. Got a lot of movement in the Mercedes garage. I think that's Matt who's coming out on track. Well, we've got both Mercedes there coming out, so it's kind of a race to go out there. And here we go then. So Matt flying out the pits, and Murphy out the pits as well. We've got a Renault out there. Look at them; they're all just coming out straight away. They know what they're doing, and they're just cruising down the pit lane. You can see the pit lane's quite narrow here in Singapore. So and I think the first man on the track is the Haas driver of Asdog. Of course, Asdog was the second man on track in Q2. Of course, he was just behind Double. He's now got a clear track now in the Haas. And you can see, look at that, the Ferris wheel there, massive Ferris wheel, isn't it? I'm not Friday Fight, so I probably wouldn't like to be on that. So yeah. To be honest, I probably wouldn't like to be anywhere in Singapore. It's all about, look, all these tall buildings. It's incredible, isn't it? I'm going to race in the heart of Singapore. It's amazing stuff, isn't it? Of course, it's incredible, isn't it? It's how they form race in like smack bang in the city centre. It's like Azerbaijan as well, isn't it? When Ted was doing the like the preview for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and he was showing us the very tight turn 8. I couldn't believe they was going to put a Formula 1 car for that, because of course they had cobbles down there as well, didn't they? So of course they lay temporary concrete over the cobbles, don't they, for race day, and then they rip them back up as soon as it's over. But yeah, a lot of street circuits involved. I think there's also one in Vietnam. Oh no, that's awful, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's the pressure of commentary. I've completely lost myself. But yeah, it's of course there's a new track up there. There's a couple of new tracks coming up in 2020, isn't there? Unfortunately, there's a couple of tracks we might be losing. Germany's being touted. Hope we ain't losing the Monza Grand Prix. I think that's been confirmed until 2024, which is awesome to see, because I quite like to see the traditional European tracks on there. I like a good new track, I do, but yeah, I do like the traditional ones as well. Silverstone is also being talked about, hopefully keeping the race at Silverstone. Now, but enough about that. Let's get on to the laps now. So Adstock is to be the first one. We've got Renault in the background of Broke Gorilla, also in Q3. Of course, Broke Gorilla, as I said, Hunter and Matt were quite good on street circuit, but so is Gorilla, because he's a very. I've raced with him in Azerbaijan and he was flying, and so Broke there doing loves street circuits, don't he? We're just watching Asdog now coming into turn 7. Beautifully done there, of course. Using all the track, and then now into turn 8. Bit dull down there, isn't it? The lighting not very good around there. Into turn 9 then. So this is what he's doing, all the car, a bit of understeer at the in the middle of the corner there. That might cost him a slight bit of time. Was it? And now he's come down into my favourite corner, turn 10. It used to be. Now over the Anderson Bridge. We've got the car stepped out a bit there, over the Anderson Bridge then, and now on to turn 13. That's a very difficult corner, very difficult indeed. It's a bit of a treacherous corner, that turn 13. And into and then of course this is one of the I think Schumacher went to the back of Vernon around there as well, didn't he? I think that was actually the place where I went into the back of him. So I've been telling you the wrong information for about an hour now. Oh dear. Yeah, don't listen to me. Anyway, coming down to under the grandstand. Oh, did he clip the inside barrier there, or did he get a bit too close there? A bit too much curb for Adstock. So he's coming now around the final couple of corners now. So just the two flat out left-handers here. And well, it's almost flat out, and 36 there for Adstock. Brilliant time. What about Broke Gorilla there? He's coming around the final corner now. Also, remember, all these guys are on the Hoversoft tires. He's in something right behind Gorilla. Gorilla goes on a 39, but Matt goes on a 36.7. Look at that. 400ths of a second. What about Murphy? Murphy, though, goes to the top with 6/10ths difference. So Murphy's been saving that one in the bag, hasn't he? What about Sven? Sven comes across the line, and Sven does a 44. I think he'd be disappointed at that. Stio does a 36.8. Look at these times. They're all in the 36s. That's amazing. What about the Sauber of Penny? Penny comes across. I think he's invalid. He's like, oh, nice camera angle here. Lovely camera angle in the bodywork. We'll see how tightly compact it is. The McLaren is. They're quite infamous from the tightly compact car, which might have hindered or not hindered the progress of the Honda. Yeah. But well, they're doing alright now, Honda, aren't they? They're improving every race with the Red Bull and the Toro Rosso teams, which is really good to see. It's nice to see Honda up there. Now, what about Kumquat now comes across the line, the Championship League. He's done a 35.3. Brilliant time there. He's 0.8 of a second quicker than Murphy. Amazing time there. And to be honest, if I seen that time, I'll be like, ouch. So, brilliant time there from Kumquat. And of course, I think he's showing us why he's the top of the tree at the moment. Amazing time there. Of course, from a prize there. Amazing time indeed. So the question is, can the guys get in? Because remember, they might have been cautious in the first go, because they don't want to be in the wall. They don't want to be in the wall and not set a time. So there might be a couple of tenths in the bag for these guys. Can Murphy needs to find a good 8/10ths there. As we're just taking a quick look and seeing what it's 0.7848 between Murphy and Kumquat. It's a second between himself and between Kumquat and Matt in third position, and yeah, you see them, but the gap so between second, between fourth, third and sixth, between third and fifth at the moment, just under 4/10ths there as Penny is just letting through Kumquat. We're on board now with Sven. He's 7th at the moment, and he's going well, I think he might have to abandon this because he's got no errors left. Same with Matt as well, as Matt's there. I think he's just trying to get back to the pits. So, oh, Kumquat there, just you can see 50 kilometers an hour. He must slow down for. Has just decided to. So he's in the pits now. He's Force India waiting for him. So I think Murphy is now going for round 2. So he's I wonder how much time Murphy's got in the bag. To be honest, he might be, as we said, he is a Mercedes, so he could be sandbagging. Excuse me. Oh, we haven't got to the climax of qualifying yet, and I'm already losing my voice. Excellent stuff. I think I just need to be a snooker commentator or something. No disrespect for the super commentators. I think there used to be there was a YouTube video, wasn't there? There was a Murray Walker commentating on snooker. It was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. It was brilliant stuff. That's just why it says of humor though. As we're just watching now Murphy going for round 2, then he needs to find 7/10 of a second, well, just over 7/10 of a second to pinch pole position away from Kumquat. We would say Kumquat is fairly safe, but you can never really feel safe in this game, can you? Chance I certainly can't. I remember feeling very good in some of my qualifying laps, and I end up being a second or two away from my teammate, sometimes even more. So. Yeah, so we're just watching Asdog there. He's just warming up his tyres. You can see we're on board with the Asdog on his outlap. You can see what he's doing there. He's not using up any earths. He's just keeping up with the speed to make sure his tyres are in perfect temperature. Just make sure the brakes are in perfect temperature as well. He's basically being a heat engineer now at the moment, so he's trying to just keep the tyres and brakes up to a decent temperature, and so he can get on. So you can see now he's doing a bit of weaving there. It looks like he's just having a bit of fun. It's all about precision. That's all planned. As you can see, we got the second Mercedes just popping out of the pits now with Matt. So we've got a couple of guys out there. We've got Roscoe out there. We've got Penny out there. We've got Hunter out there as well. 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes to go then. So Murphy will be the first one to cross the line. As we got a yellow flag in sector 3 as Roscoe goes full fastest at the moment. So decent time for Roscoe. He's gone a bit wide there. He is now is he going to harvest and go again? We'll find out now. Yeah, that was Mike on the pits. So here comes Murphy now. We're on board. Murphy is second on the grid. I think that Murphy is definitely a much stronger driver in the second half of the season. He's really popping himself there or thereabouts. Of course, he's a strong driver all year round, really. Yeah, as all these guys are. But yeah, I think in the second half of the season, he's really starting to get himself there or thereabouts. And now coming down the I'm not sure, is this the Raffles Boulevard or is it the other one? Charles, I can't even say it anyway. And down in turn 7, look at that, taking all the curve and then some into turn 8 there. And we're now just, as you can see, we've got a couple of viewers now coming in. Welcome, they're getting ready and amped up, ready for the race. But of course, they're going to join us as this qualifying session hasn't finished yet, so ain't everything to play for. Murphy's got to find 7/10 of a second to challenge Price Kumquat, the championship leader at the moment. And so at the moment then, to be honest, as I said, some of these guys might have been sandbagging just so they can complete a lap. As so this is Murphy's time now, so he's done a 26.5 in the middle sector. So how's this final sector now? So let's just keep going board with him. Let's see how neat and tidy it is. He's hitting the apexes nicely, and car is you can see the back couple of steer corrections there, but nothing too major. This is doing good. And coming into the final couple of corners now, as now we're into the last sector of the lap now. Look, turn 21. How's he doing? He's not very close to the wall there, but he's giving the wall a bit of respect there. What about he's in the 34? He's in the 35s, but he's in the 35.9. So that's a very good lap there from Matt, from Murphy. So good time there from Murphy. He's done very respectful there. What about Asdog comes across the line? Is he going for? He's in the 36s, but he's up to third. So Asdog out in the third position. Good time there from Asdog. Who's next across the line? We've got Steve. I think he's just starting his lap. He is just starting his lap. So Steve just crossing the line now. Broke Gorilla just cruising up there. What about Sven? I think Sven is also starting it up as well. Is he? Might be. Well, what about Hunter? Hunter comes across the line and he is about to start his lap. So we've got 55 seconds to go. So who's on lap now? We're going to just watch Penny at the moment. So Penny hasn't put a top in there, as we've got a lovely camera shot as well. Might have broke the camera there. So of course Penny is running out of earth quite rapidly though, isn't he? Of course the earth is enough to power a small family car, so that is quite a lot of oomph there in the earth. Of course the electric recovery system, it's not kinetic anymore. Come around the final two corners. Got your flag in sector 2, and what does Steve do? He goes up to 7th, so good time there from Steve. Very good time indeed. Broke Gorilla, I think, is just cruising to the end. We got Sven and Hunter on the track together. That ain't gonna help Hunter, but Sven is on the lap as well, so you can't. So yeah. yeah, everyone's, if you're on the lap, you can't really jump out of the way, can you? Because everyone's, what about Matt now? Matt, is he going in the 35s? Oh, he is in the 35s. He's up in the second, and he's 1:35.6. He's only 3/10 back. Amazing lap, mega lap from Matt. He's on the front row at the moment, so him and Price Kumquat on the front row. Excellent stuff. That was really a really good time there from as Brooke Gorilla comes to the pits. What about Stio? Stio is coming around the final couple of courses now. The row 3 is shared between the two McLarens. Oh, and Steve hitting the wall there. You're meant to go close to that wall, but not hit it. But what does he do? He's going in the 35. Oh, yeah, in the 35. He's not quite, but he's done improved half a second. He's having the 4th position. Asdog coming into the pits very rapidly now. And what about Sven comes across the line? Sven steals up to 7th. Good time there for Sven, and Hunter is only 7th fastest then. I think he was too close to Sven there to improve his time, but remember, this is unfortunately if you're on a good time, then you can't really jump all the way. But that's a good time from Sven. He's up into 8th position. Penny 9th. Penny is just cruising to the end now. What about Kumquat? And we're on board Kumquat now, and I don't think he improved. If he did, I apologise, but I don't think he did. And Matt is also run out of verse as well. But what a time there from Matt and Murphy. That should be a band. And a brilliant time there is they're both in the 35s and really getting very close. We thought that the guy, and ironically it's the two Mercedes that were sandbagging. So they definitely wanted to. It was definitely a very good. Well, Matt's still going for it, isn't he? Is he going to get into it? Oh, he improves by 1/10 of a second. Another mega lap from Matt. So that's 2 really good laps in the 35.5s, and he ran out of ERS towards the end of that lap as well. So he could have had more there. So wow, what a good 2 mega laps from Matt there in the 35.5s. 2/10 of a second away from the pole sitter. Yeah, I said that these Mercedes might be the guys might be sandbagging, and ironically it was the 2 Mercedes. They both got into the 1:35s. Mega times from all those guys there, so look at that then. So brilliant stuff, and as you can see, we're just watching then Matt cruise around here at Singapore under the lights here in the Marina Bay. I think that's the House of Parliament there, I think. I did have a Google of it because I didn't know what it was yesterday. Yep, that's my fact finding. I've made a living off Googling. Yeah, that's how I got through college. Good old Wikipedia. So this is the times that everyone had to go on the Ultra Soft tires. I think Broke unfortunately only had one attempt there. So, but he's in the top 10. That's his first appearance in the top 10 in IRC. Good job there. As coming through the tricky turn 13. So here we go then. Look at that, 1/10 of a second behind the prize in the end from Matt. I think that might be his best qualifying performance of the year. So very well done. And there's the Mercedes only half a second away from Kumquat as well. 2 very good laps from the Mercedes boys. Hopefully they can keep it clean into turn 1. Stio in 4th position, the McLaren. Asdog 5th. Of course, Asdog is quite far down the championship, but he's had a lot of bad luck in the races. Roscoe 7th, Hunter 8th, Sven 9th, Penny 10th, and Broke Gorilla is in 11th position. And I think we got Dave, who's just shouted good luck to the boys, and I hope Dave's enjoyed himself because he's going to tune in for the first couple of laps. And to be honest, so you boys have got the pressure on. You need to make sure it's good first few laps. So yeah, as we mentioned before, Dave has been touring the sights of France. He was outside the FIA building, so I really hope he has actually got in there and had a word with Jean Todt and told him where he's going wrong. Well, in all the FIA events, I think one of the better, I hate to say it, but one of the better FIA events at the moment is Formula E. Yeah, to be honest, Formula 1's going to be my first love, but I got to say that Formula E is very entertaining to watch. It's definitely good to watch on a Sunday afternoon when there's nothing else to do. But yeah. So it was very, very entertaining. Of course, there was 8 winners in the first 8 races, and I think in the first 7 races there's 7 different constructors. Remember, there's no formation up here, so we're going into it straight away. We've got 5 sets of lights on that, and then we'll be racing here. And oh, McLaren there with Roscoe down a flying start, and here we go then. But Kumquat having a good time. And Matt Sturdy going straight to turn 1. He spun it around. He has spun it around. That's Matt's. And oh, we got a bit of carnage all over the place. We're on board with not that bad. And it is unfortunately that bad because I think Matt there kind of took a bit of a good old dive into and Roscoe there getting very close to Asdog. Hunter going on the outside there. Then there's Sven up in the 6th position. Matt is down in 7th. He's got damage. I think he might have damage. That was quite a good old hit. Penny 8 broke with a knife. Colga in 10th position. It's a good starter from Colga to have 4 positions. And how are they going down to the turn 7? I think it is. On the outside is Penny going out. He's going on the outside. And he should have the inside contact there between Penny and yeah. Now we're on 100 now, up into 4th position. But Asdog's going to have a look. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and that's Penny. Penny's off out, just coming out of the Anderson Bridge there. No, we've got Not That Bad who's coming out of the field like a hot knife through. But we got Williams half spinning. That's Harry who's spun a bit like that. He's good recovery there from Harry. And over the Anderson Bridge now. That is the Anderson Bridge. And look at this, getting very close between Gorilla and the Steo. Steo's had a terrible start. He's dropped down in 4 positions, but Matt's had the worst start. Well, no, he hasn't. Penny's had the worst start. He's down in 7 positions. There's broke Gorilla having a look. And Matt, I think, has damage in front wing. That is a big shame for Matt. I think his Asdog got a bit of wing damage as well as yeah, action all over the place at the moment. So Matt's gone a bit wide again coming into the chicane. He's damaged, definitely damaged his front wing. That's a big shame, and there's thought Renault was going into the place where PK went into it. Of course, that would have been interesting. We might have had a crash gate scandal in IRC. Yeah, he's damaged his front wing, Matt. That is a big shame, very big shame indeed. And we got some fans there for Physico, of course, in the Williams. So hopefully we'll see Physico in a minute. He's down in 15. We've got Asdog in the pits. We've got Matt in the pits as well. We've got Virgil, and Kogut is out of the race. Where is Kogut gone? I think it is. Oh, he's in the wall in the pit lane. He's done a David Coulthard. No, so Kogut is out of the race after 1 lap. Wow, what drama at the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. So that one completely, the gap is now up to 2 seconds between Kumquat and Murphy. Evil Hunter's on the outside of Roscoe. Brilliant move there from Hunter. He is up into 3rd position. An excellent start. He's up 4 positions already. Roscoe is up 2 positions, so still good move there. Sven and Steo is having a good old tussle here for 4th and 6th. Broke Gorilla 7th. Not That Bad has had an amazing start. He's up 8 positions. He's already doubled his starting position. Amazing stuff. Double in 9th position. We got Harry 10th. Snap 11th. Physico in 12th position. Asdog is out of the pits in 13th. Matt, who started 1st, is now down into 14th. Started 2nd, who's now down to 14th position. And Penny, who's in 15th position at the moment. I think that was a bit of a. I think Matt's attempted move on the lead might have been a bit of a bit optimistic there too, which is unfortunate. Now then, he's having a look on the Steo is having a look on the inside there. What's wow. What a start here, and Sven, who's flying the flag for Red Bull, as we said, he's doing a great job. He's on the ultra soft tires. He's on the commentator's curse there, I think it was, into the tight chicane. Now Steve taking a bit of a white line. Kumquat leads the race, and he's having a look, but nothing gained yet. We go flag in sector 3. What's that going on there? Hopefully it's nothing too major. It's Snap, who I think is just recovering at the moment, so he's dropped down a couple of positions. Snap has. He's still in 12th position. Remember, this is a very long race. And Sven has dropped down, so as soon as I go off board, Sven loses the position. So now Stevio has recovered some of the lost ground that he made at the beginning of this race. So now Stevio up into 5th position. So Roscoe got overtaken by Hunter, but he's definitely not letting Hunter go at the moment, is he? As we come down into turn 4. And yes, definitely Sven doing very well. Dave is just echoing in the comments there. Sven's done a great job in the Red Bull. The last couple of races, he's really been there, hasn't he? So good stuff from Sven. He's in 6th position at the moment. We're just 7th is Broke Gorilla. Not That Bad has had an immense start. You could say it's not that bad of a start. As he's up into 8th position, double in 9th position. 10th is Harry, and just in front of his teammate is a Physico. So Williams 10th and 11th at the moment. Good stuff to see. They're coming on the back of Double, and Double is on the Hypersoft tyre. Let's just go and make sure that I am right. Probably not. Oh, no, I ain't. Nothing unusual there. Double on the Autosoft tyre. We've got a bit of debris there. I think that's when we've seen Penny recovering, possibly. So yeah, so Double on the Autosoft tyre is doing a good job there. Double is. Harry is in 10th position. 11th position is Physico. Matt is now on the back of Asdog there. But yeah, I feel that it might have been a very optimistic move from Matt in the in the first corner, which is a bit unfortunate, really, because I think that I was saying that was Matt's best qualifying performance of the year. Brilliant stuff there, but yeah, well, yeah, to be honest, I mean, you have to really go for it, don't you? Really, if you're a racing driver. If you don't go for the gap, then you're no longer a racing driver. So I'm not going to run the final couple of quarters then. As we're just watching this battle here. Harry going a bit wide there. We're on board with Harry now. Double's got some good pace in that Sauber, hasn't he? Car 99. Got a 3-second penalty for Sven at the moment. He is under a lot of pressure from well, he was under a lot of pressure from Broke Gorilla. Broke Gorilla has had a bit of issues there. Of course, Broke Gorilla is on the Hypersoft, so we saw last night that the Hypersofts didn't last too long at all, and now his teammate is all over the back of Broke Gorilla. He's going on the inside. He's touched, and that's an end plate gone from sorry, I left the information on there. I know he's touched that. It's not good there from Not That Bad. So he was going long in this race as well. He's on the soft tire. He was going deep into this race in a very similar program to what Vanquish is on last night, and that is a big blow from Not That Bad. So hopefully he hasn't damaged himself too much there, but that is not going to help himself as Asdog. Oh, and Bilton having an amazing fight here for. He's having a lunge. He's going up the inside. Not quite there as Asdog doing a very good defensive line there. No, we've got a couple of good battles out there at the moment. So it's Not That Bad is now starting to catch up behind his teammate once again. So as this is a bit feisty there between the two guys. We're starting in the top 10 now. Excuse me. They're both on the Autosoft tires, so they haven't changed their they haven't changed their strategy too much, because I think they started on the Autosoft tires, but unfortunately they're way down the back. The grid, we got the yellow flag, and oh, that is why we got a massive accident, and the two Renaults are coming to each other, and oh no, that's a massive incident. Harry is retired from this session, Physicode's out, and oh dear, we missed on the end of that, so that's Double's out as well. This is a major pileup. We've got to see a safety car. We have seen the safety car. Oh, and the Broke Gorilla's out as well. Williams, Sauber, both Renaults are out. And we only seen the end of that. Hopefully we get some footage in a minute, but that is a massive blow, massive accident. Safety car is out, so this is going to help the guys that had issues at the start. Not That Bad left the session. We'll hopefully get some footage of that in a minute, but that's not going to help. Not going to help Price there. And look at the debris there. And so it Snaps in the pits. Who has that? Physico's in the pits as well. Got you can see there is drama there, isn't it? Lennon's saying a lot of drama out there, incredible. Physico is in the pit, Snaps in the pit. So good reaction time there from both of those teams there. Snap had changed his front wing, so good time indeed. And yeah, we're going to have a look to see what happened in a second, when hopefully the safety car will calm it down a minute. We've only had 5 laps, right? Remember, this was one of the longest races of the season, and I'm already out of breath. I might need to go to the gym. And Snap now coming out of the pits, so he's on the Autosoft tyre. Soft tyre for Steve. I wonder if the guys that have pitted are going to change tyres again. It's too early, I think, in the race to think about going to soft till the end. On board then, we'll take stock in a minute and see what happened. But so now we're just on board then with Prize. He is coming in. He's coming in the pits. So Prize is in the pits, the championship leader. He probably wants a straightforward race, but you're going to have anything but. Murphy's staying out. So Murphy is staying out. What about Hunter and all that? So Murphy is staying out. Prize is in the pits. How far behind is he? He's going on the soft tyre. I think that's a bit early myself, but yeah. And yeah, I've got some expert information. That's I'm glad you guys are commenting on the YouTube channel. Nicely done, guys. Yeah, Lennon, of course, one of the experienced drivers in the Elite League, is saying that maybe these guys should go on the soft tyre. So as Murphy made a mistake here, as Price is out in second position. That was how big his gap was. So Price on the soft tyre. Hunter is also on the soft tyre as well. Steve is on the soft tyre. Roscoe is staying out on the soft tyres, and he's in front of Hunter. So that's going to cause Hunter a bit of mischief if he has to get up behind. And we got Asdog, so Matt and Asdog are back up there, back in this fight on the Autosoft tyres. So they're about 6th and 7th. Sven is in 8th position, he's on the soft tyres. Physico is also on the Autosoft as well. And Penny is staying on the soft tyre, and Staff also on the Autosoft as well. Whoa. Right then, so Murphy leads this race then so far. So Kunquat is down to second now, but that's still a decent 18 points all. And he has made a stop, whereas Murphy has not made a stop yet. And so so yeah, the advantage. So, but Murphy, remember, have the softer tire, and might be able to sprint clear. Lovely camera shots here in Singapore. Look, it's an amazing place, isn't it? This place. It's been one of the fan favourites, hasn't it, since coming on the F1 calendar back in 2008. I think we had a safety car in every race that we've had in Singapore. And you can see we got one here tonight. A massive accident under the it's in the corner where they go into the grandstand. We'll talk about it in a minute, and hopefully we'll have some footage as well, and I'll talk you through it. But yeah, we've seen the end of it. We were just wondering what was going on. It's as a big blow. It's a massive accident which has cost the so it's Harry's out, Double's out, not that bad, and Gorilla out as well. We've seen the two Renaults make contact down the back straight, and unfortunately we've seen them both into each other under the grandstand there. And you can see safety cars out there, and safety cars usually out for a couple of laps. So now they're Lionel Stern, and Murphy should have an advantage of his tires. His tires are softer, which means they're warm, which means that they will be in more mint condition in terms of the launch. But I think the prize is going for more of the longer game here. So Prize is second, Roscoe third. Roscoe is in third position. Fourth position is Hunter. Fifth position is Steve. Sixth position is Asdog. Matt is in seventh position. Eighth position is Sven. So Sven is on the soft tire now. They're going to be able to go to the end on the soft tire. Lennon, I think that's what Lennon was getting at, is they might be able to go into the soft till the end. So that'll be a very good strategy. I feel they're sitting pretty. So they now coming down the DRS straight. Let's just take a quick look to see what if we've got any footage, as I've just completely thrown my phone to one side. I feel more angry than the guys do. As and also, of course, we lost. And of course, we also lost Koga as well as he entered the pits. So just taking a quick look, see what's going on. Excuse me for a minute whilst I have a quick look. And Blaz gave us a picture of the football, so that's nice to see. But I just want to have a quick look at what's going on here. Yeah, we just had a replay of the Reynolds touching, and then this was not that and yeah, unfortunately broke Gorilla there. Yeah, trying to he just hit the chances unfortunate. His rear wheel hit the inside of at the inside of corner. Safety car's in this lap. So safety car's in this lap. So this is where it's going to get a bit tasty. Yeah, it was the corner under the grandstand. I'll point you out to it before we get going. But yeah, Snaps in front of Penny there. So yeah, you're allowed to take before the start finish line or the safety car line. No, that's the of course the new rule is not to take till the start finish line now. And so we're just getting ready. So this is where the corner, this is where it happened. So you can see broke Gorilla just turning too tightly, and it clipped his rear wheel, and that's unfortunate. And not that bad, I was too close to him, and just cause. And I think Murphy's gone. He's gone. He's bolted away very quickly. So no messing. Of course, and there's the safety car just coming in the pits now. So is it? He slowed down. He has slowed down now. So he slowed right down towards the end of the towards the end of the RS is now available. So Murphy did bolt, and then he stopped, and then he bolted again. And here we go then. So the Lionel Stern end is he coming for it, and Sven's gone. Sven is gone. Where's he gone? I don't know where he's gone. Oh no. So Sven is out of the race. I didn't see it. And did he? I think he must have. And we've got a bit of a queue, haven't we now? So Murphy leads. Prize is second. Roscoe is trying to get by. Trying to get by Kumquat before his tires warms up as quickly as possible. Now coming down Rapids Boulevard now and into turn 7. Is Roscoe going to have a look? He's a bit too far back, I think. He's outbraked himself slightly there. Hunter, where's Hunter? Hunter is not quite close enough, but he is the meat in the McLaren sandwich as they come down into turn 8. And look at that lovely camera shot there. Physico 8 for Penny and 9 for Snappers and 10th. We've only got 10 runs now left out of the 16 that started run, lap 8 out of 31. So we still got a long way to go. And the Roscoe is quite close to Kumquat at the moment. It's all very close there. And almost outbreaking himself is Hunter now going over the Anson Bridge. And look at that, a bit of rally in there. We've got contact. We have got contact, and I think that is Roscoe going to the back of the Force India there. That's not good at all. You can see we've I think, did he outbreak himself? We just seen a piece come off. Hunter, oh, going again, having a look on the inside there, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, isn't it? Penny is 10 for Snap. Snap is in the points, so I think that Snap might get some first points of the season. So, oh, Roscoe, very very wild there. As I thought he was gone. I thought he was a goner then. The Scotsman, brilliant recovery. Now we're on board Stio now. He's on the pace. Roscoe is really causing some issues. He's in the pit, so that's a shame for Roscoe. The damage is too much then. I'd like to know what happened to did he hit the barrier coming into the pit? So as you can see, we're just on lap 9 now, and you can see, look how close these guys are. So the safety car is definitely, oh wow, it's Asdog trying to catch Steve by surprise. He's definitely got me by surprise there. As of course, remember, Asdog is on the quicker tyre, as is Matt, as is Physico behind. So Asdog would like to get by Steve as quickly as possible. So Roscoe's going on the soft tyre. So is he going to be able to get to the end of the race? That's the big question now. What's he going? Asdog going on the outside. Look how much more braking. He's going to go on the outside. As a very good driving there from Steve to give him some room there. So the very polite driving indeed. Asdog is now in. As we got Williams there of Physico. As Charles Matt's very quick around this circuit, isn't he? He's shown in qualifying, so he's not out of the picture yet either. Of course, at the moment, so the Prize, Hunter, and Steve have all pitted on the soft tyre, and they're going to the end of the race. So I think everyone's pitted at least once. Now Murphy's going to come under a lot of pressure now from Kumquat, aka Nosy, or he used to be at the beginning of the season. But it's now decided to revert his nationality to Peru again. So, and he is now some kind of fruit. So yeah. And and unfortunately, we didn't see what happened to Sven. Unfortunately, which is a big shame. I think it was coming out of the last corner, we lost Sven, and I didn't see it in the background. So whether he crashed, whether he's coming in the pits or not, I'm not sure. But you can see the battle for the lead now is really starting to intensify. As Asdog and Matt, we got a yellow flag, and that's why. Matt's out! Matt's out! Oh no! Matt is out of the Singapore Grand Prix. DRS has been enabled, but I don't know what happened there, and I think that Asdog and himself was very close together. Matt is out of the Singapore Grand Prix. We're down to 9 cars. Snap is up in his 7th position. So Snap, one of the fan favourites, is flying up there at the moment. And so as a David Lawbat, no sympathies there. And now we're come down the back straight then as Asdog, Physico and Asdog then as well back of each other. But Murphy has now lost the lead. He's now lost the lead to Kumquat then. So I'm missing all the drama here, aren't I, at the moment? Oh, blimey. So 10 out of 31 then. So we ain't even at half distance yet, and it's already been a very long and hard Grand Prix. And so Kumquat will now have the better tyres and should pull away. So Murphy down to 2nd, Hunter 3rd, CEO 4th, Asdog 5th, Physico in 6th, Snap a great job in 7th position, Penny 8th, and Roscoe is in the 9th position at the moment. So the closest battle on track at the moment is between these guys here. And Murphy, he's 8/10 back, so he's still in DRS range. So if he can stay in DRS range, then he will have a chance at of opening the DRS on the back straight, coming down into the final sector now. And so Asdog there, of course, this track is you can see this is a very silly thing, but you're always going to be on the gas for a car length ahead of the car in front, which is very obvious. But yeah, that's where you see like the cars kind of pull away from each other. So Price is already out of DRS as well, so he's in a bit of a vessel here, isn't he? He's just trying to get out of DRS zone now, DRS range, and there we go. So we have lost quite a lot of drivers already. We've got still 20 more laps to go. So at the moment, Hunter is now going to be looking to see if he can get by Murphy. So it's Murphy regretting his decision to stay out. To be honest, though, it was a very interesting choice, isn't it, Murphy staying on board with Physico and the Williams. So yeah, it's been good stuff. Well, what an action packed race so far. Just going to take a quick look at the position changes. So everyone has gone up a position. Hunter up 4. Physico has done a great job. He's up 7th at the moment. Snap is up 5. So Snap has just got to keep this going, and he will be scoring some points. Of course, Matt should score a point at least, because he's the latest retirement, of course. So retirement so far, we've lost Koga, which is unfortunate, as he is out, as he drove into the pit entrance. Of course, a lot of drivers done that. Coulthard was one of them, 95 Adelaide, and then we had a huge smash, didn't we? And just coming under the grandstand at the final sector, we lost Harry, we lost Double. Not that bad. And Snap has left the session. Oh no, Snap has left the session. We need, hopefully it comes back in quickly, because he's on course for some points at the moment. Remember, he has to be in the car to score points, so Snap needs to get himself back in here as quickly as possible. Back on board with Physical at the moment. Hunter's now all over the back of Murphy, so this is the battle now for second position, lap 11, coming to lap 12. And so is these super soft runners going to get to the end? And the question is, Murphy's tyres will be in much better condition. He's in the pits now, so he will have 5 laps younger than the soft runners at this moment. So that might come back into Murphy's hands later on in the race, as I almost pulled my head off. Now Hunter is now up in second, and Theo for Asdog fourth, Physical fifth. Now into the pits, and Snaps in the pits as well. So his AI has brought him into the pit. Let's hope it, is it going to we've got some ultra soft tyres there for someone. So, and what is Taurus going to put him on? He's putting him on ultra softs again now. Oh, that's such a shame. Really is, because I thought you probably would like to go to softs in the race. As Roscoe now moves up into 8th position, and Snap is now down in 9th. Hopefully Snap comes back, because yeah, he's on course for some decent points. Staying now with this battle here, and so this is the closest battle on track at the moment, is between Physical and Asdog. Both, well, Asdog's tyres are 3 laps older than Physical's, so, and tyres around here is very hard. The thermal deg does really build up on these tyres. These guys will probably be coming into the pits before the end of this race, no doubt about that. I think Snap will have to come in again, unfortunately, as well, because those ultra soft tyres are not going to get here to the end of the race. Murphy's dropped down to 7th position because he did not pit under the safety car, but he does have longer tyres, which will possibly can help him out at the end of the race. Anyway, yeah, let's go through the let's go through the retirements then. So unfortunately Koga out, he crashed into the pit wall. We lost Snap's joints, and Snap is back in this race now, so he's dropped down 2 positions, and he's on the soft tyre, so the get AI has put him on the back foot here, but hopefully his Hunter's got a 3-second penalty. I think that's the first penalty. And Asdog, I'm not sure, has he got damage there, or is he just a bit slow? I think he might just made a mistake coming out the chicane there. So but he's now under a lot of pressure, a very serious amount of pressure. So Asdog is going to go to the centre of the track, so good defending there from Asdog, but he's going to be compromised into turn 1. He's going to be very compromised into turn 1, and that Physical, brilliant drive there, and he's up the inside of Asdog. Nice bit of driving there from Physical, lining up Asdog, and Asdog has dropped down to... Don't worry, I thought that we got a yellow flag in sector 1 again. Why is that? Hopefully, look, but wow, he's on the outside, and the Physical there leaves him enough room. Again, very good. These guys are gentlemen tonight, aren't they? Now good up the inside into turn 8. That's some very difficult place to get an overtake then. He would be on the outside. He's going for a switch back there, but Physical was wise to it, and Asdog is now down 5th. So, but if he can hang on, he can get back into the DRS again. His best chance is down into turn 7. Otherwise, turn 1 I think it's a bit of a difficult one, but of course Physical made a move stick quite nice as well, actually. Very good driving from Physical there, and he's having a race. He's having a race of his life tonight, isn't he? He's at the moment, I think he'll be the driver's early vote for driver of the day, because he has been immense so far. Yes, and I do concur. Of course, Dave, of course, still joining us on the comments, and double session. Unfortunately, that's our second penalty off the leader. But yeah, I concur, Dave. Definitely a brilliant driving between these two. Very good driver. Very clean as well, and that's what we like to see. That's very clean. And also, not that, it's very respectful as well, which is very rare you see these days in especially in online lobbies. There's no respect at all. As Asdog is in the pits then, so he's in the pits after 11 laps on the ultra soft tyres. So he comes in the pits. He should go on to soft now to the end of the race. And Penny is looking very good as well. He has got a 3-second penalty, so the penalties are now starting to come in thick and fast. Of course, in the yesterday's race, we had a lot of penalties start to come as well. The Haas is now out of the pits, So it's Roscoe going to get in front of him as well. So the Scotsman Roscoe is now starting to come up through the field as yeah, and again we got another Frank. We got another comment from Frank Mead saying very mature driving it is. So yeah, big props there to Asdog and Physico. And of course, Physico is having a great drive as well, as we said. The undercut is very powerful around here, so Physico would need to come in the pits now, really, if he wants to avoid Asdog from jumping in. Because as we seen last night, the undercut is massive around here. Of course, it's such a long lap as well, and the tyre wear is quite heavy. You can see now we've got all drivers on the soft tyre, apart from Physico and Snap. The lead is now up to 5 seconds between Kumquat and Hunter, so those are the first front two. Then we've got Steve in third position. So 10 seconds back, we've got Physico. Amazing drive from Physico. In fourth position, we got Penny in fifth position. It was well, hopefully you can still hear me because the stream is kind of gone a bit slow. Anyway, yeah, as there we go. Physico, yeah, is Steve Penny is in fifth position in the Sauber, so he's doing a good job. He's done 12 laps on those soft tyres. But Physico is staying out at the moment, so he is staying out. Murphy has only done a couple of laps on those soft tyres, so he could be a factor towards the end of this race, as will be as well. And Physico will be when he comes in for the soft tyre. So Murphy is now starting to catch Penny, who's in fifth position at the moment. So good driving from Penny. Remember, the top 10 do score points. We're on that lap 15. We're almost at half distance, and yeah, a lot of you might be thinking only half distance. We feels like we've had a proper race on our hands, and it feels, yeah, we've had a lot of action in this race. As we keep saying, this is the hardest and the longest race of the season, and you really got to keep your focus. So yeah, you got to be super fit to drive around here. So now as yeah, but we're on board Devin Murphy then, as he is catching Penny now. We're in turn 7, so he's on a fresh set of soft tyres, and those tyres are going to be six several laps newer, which could pay dividends towards the end of the race. So the championship leader Kumquat still leads at the moment, and he's got a comfortable 5.7 second buffer over Hunter at the moment. Hunter's got a 4 second buffer over Steve in third position. Physico is in fourth position at the moment. He will be coming in fairly soon because he's done 10 laps on those ultra soft tyres. Unfortunately for Snap, he should have gone to the soft tyre, but because of the AI was controlling him, he went onto the ultra soft tyre, which is not good at all. And anyway, then we're coming down the we're in the front section now. You see, look at that, Murphy's got 10 lap younger tyres than Steve Penny, and a lovely camera shot again there. So you see, just that's how quickly he's going to eat into the guys that have done on old lap tyres. So alone, Murphy is looking at a net fourth here, and he could, because of course with Penny, with Physico coming into the pits, and Penny will have to come in the pits again, I'm sure of it. On the but I wonder, is he going to be able to get far enough to go on the ultra soft tyres? And again, and Penny will be a factor towards in the race. And coming down the start finish straight now, this is quite a difficult place to overtake, but as we've seen, and that's Snap who's out of the race. He's lost it in sector 3, so Snap is out of the race, but I think he should get 2 points. So very good for Snap, and I think that might be his first points of the season for Snap. So the choice is, unfortunately, if he didn't lose the session, he would have been there or thereabouts up in the 7th or 6th position. So yeah, I've missed the overtake because I'm shocking stuff from the race director. Oh dear, what's he doing? No, but anyway, Murphy is now up into 5th position. He's in front of Penny. I think he overtook him in the DRS range, in the DRS zone. So Murphy now up into 5th position, and he's 8 seconds back from Physico. Physico has done 11 laps on those ultra soft tyres, and so I think unless Physico is trying to get to a decent lap where he's going to go onto the ultra soft tyres again. Did he start on the? I think he started on the soft tyre, didn't he? This is why I should make notes. Yeah. So that's going to be the question then. So what tyres is Physico going to go on? And he could be a factor towards this race, definitely. To be honest, he's been a factor in this race anyway. He's been amazing so far. We're just on board Murphy. He's the man, man on the move at the moment. He doesn't want to push too hard on those tyres. I hate to say it, it's quite a. It's been more of a tyre program, hasn't it? Around 90% of the time we've been talking about tyres, but kind of that's modern Formula 1. But if you look back in the history books, if it wasn't tyres, they were looking after engines. If they weren't looking after engines, they were saving like fuel and stuff like that. Snap has left the session. Yeah, to be honest though, Yeah, so they used to save in one thing or another as they look back. But yes, so but anyway, the soft tire. But yeah, this is definitely a tire limited track. This is so you don't want to hurt your tires too much. So we've got 8 drivers left out of the 16 that started. So half the field is still left in this race. Unfortunately, we lost Snap in sector 3 somewhere. Which is a shame really, but as we said before, I think he's done a good job today. Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty. I think the penalties have been really good actually today. I think that's only our 3rd one, so this track isn't very harsh on penalties, but you do get some surprising errors where you do get penalties, which usually catches someone out. I usually get more penalties on the couple of chicanes in the final sector, but that's usually me just being very impatient and trying to and trying to get quicker. Yeah, I must admit I do enjoy watching this track, but I just don't get on with this track. I'm just not very. Then again, I don't really go about street circuits. I think my worst circuit is definitely by far Azerbaijan. I'm just slow as a boat around there. I'm basically like a milk float. So yeah, Azerbaijan's a very tough track. But yeah, I don't get on with street circuits. And we do have some street specialists in this race, or. We of course Hunter, of course we said that Hunter's a bit of a street specialist. Matt is also a street specialist as well. And we've seen his qualifying performance has been immense. And Gorilla, same with him. He's also goes very well around street circuits as well. Unfortunately though, Matt and Gorilla are both out of the race. Not that bad as having a great drive from the back of the grid where he didn't qualify and got up as far as 8th before touching his teammate. And then unfortunately it all ended on the around turn 17-18, which is a big shame really, and that's what's caused a lot of the majority of the retirements tonight. And that's just the nature of the beast really, as this track is so narrow that you really couldn't go around there. And to be honest, it's a bit like Spa in a way, isn't it, where we had that massive accident in Spa. Of course it was reminiscent of '98, wasn't it, of course, a couple of races ago, where we lost a lot of cars. It was 10 or 11 cars, wasn't it? Unfortunately, when there's nowhere to go, it's very hard to avoid, and of course it was very hard to avoid because it was in the middle of the track. Both Renaults getting tangled up there, but that was a big shame, that was. Anyway, whilst we've been like nattering our way, talking about all sorts of stuff which is really not important about the race. So yep, you tuned in for Formula 1 and there's me going off on a history lesson and all sorts of stuff over the Anson Bridge now. And now Murphy is under a second. Hopefully we'll stay with it this time rather than go wandering off. And so we'll see. We might see an overtake now from Murphy. There is a 17-second gap between Physico and Stee. So with Murphy, let's see the. I wonder how, because also Murphy as well had a very good qualifying as well in 3rd position. It was only the only guys that got into the 35s was Murphy, Matt, and of course the pole sitter as well, Kumquat. So as Double is just commented saying damn, because Chance lost the commentator's curse, so he's going to be very unhappy with me because I said the Double was very consistent. And what happens? You have a DNF. So commentator's curse there is Physico runs very wide, and those tires are all way past their best now, and Murphy goes up into 4th position. He's 18 seconds back, and yeah, and so now we're going to so the question is, has he got the pace to get after Steve? Steve at the moment is on a podium position at the moment, so well done to Steve in the McLaren. His teammate Roscoe down in 7th position at the moment, but I think that is the only team left in this race. As I think I think Physico just brushed the wall there. Car 21. That used to be Gutierrez's number, of course, when he drove in the Haas and the Sauber. I think it was Gutierrez's number. Yeah, it was. I think so. Anyway, you've seen that there's the leader just going around the just on the opposite side of the track there. Yeah, so Physico there is in. He's being chased down now by Penny. So those Ultrasoft tires are very well past their best now. But he is trying to get to a target lap. I reckon he's trying to get to a target lap where he can try and get onto Ultrasoft till the end of the race. I reckon. Well, he could probably get onto them now, couldn't he? Well, not a bit of a stretch in terms of the pace, but yeah, I don't think he's aiming to go into the soft tires, because I think Azdog would have undercut him by now by quite a margin. So of course, because Azdog pitted quite a while ago, so he was talking about the undercut, wasn't we? Is Physico and Azdog was on a quality battle, best battle of the race so far, amazing stuff. And yeah, so of course, it was amazing. The comments lit up with them two battling, brilliant stuff to see. and coming into the final part of that. But Physico's been the star of the show today, hasn't he? Amazing drive, and see, look at the understeer he's got. That is that's the effect of the tyres just being worn out and just really wearing themselves down. We're just on with Penny, but Penny's done 17 laps on these soft tyres, and he's really he's doing some good lap times out there. So very good there from Penny. He's really catching Roscoe, though. He's catching Penny. We're going to have a bit of a battle royale by the looks. So get the old Fortnite out, isn't it? So as we're now going to. So Penny is catching Physico, but we expect Physico to be in the pits quite soon. If he goes to the end on those ultra soft tyres, I know that is definitely that is a proper Goliath effort there from Physico, but I think he'll be in the pits fairly soon. So, but yeah, 18 lap tyres. Asdog is in the pits again. He's going on the ultra soft tyre, so he is now, and he's damaged his front wing by look. So Asdog there is in for another stop there, and he comes out now. To be honest, we was talking about Asdog's championship position earlier on the race, and yeah, to be honest, he's had a lot of bad luck in the championship this season, and which is a shame really, because he's been there or thereabouts. His win in China was immense from Asdog. It was brilliantly done, brilliant strategy as well. But I think since then his strategy his season has kind of been turned upside down there. And I think that's Dave in the comments again saying if Fizzy might put on the auto softs to the end. I reckon he will as well. I think that's what he's trying to go towards, is the auto soft. Maybe even, I don't think the hyper softs will be option here, because the hyper softs don't last very long at all around here. And when we were chatting to the elite guys just before the elite race started yesterday, a lot of them were saying do stay away from the hypersofts, but the track is rubbered in now. There'll not be as much fuel, so I wonder if Physico is going to have a blitz at the end of a proper couple of quali laps at the end there. Physico has now got a 3-second penalty. To be honest, big shout out to these guys with penalties and stuff, because they have been absolutely. Yeah, we've only had 4 or 5 penalties, I think, unless I've completely missed something. And of course, never comment there in the comment section below there. But before we get to that, let's just get to this. And Penny on the outside into turn 7. As you can see, then that just shows the tyre wear. Penny's done 19 laps on those soft tyres, and he is now up into 5th position. Good. This is a good handful of points for Penny and for Sauber. Sauber bottom of the constructors at the moment, but this is definitely going to help him at no end. So he's up into 5th. Physico has dropped down to 6th now. Next man as Physico is going to be defending against will be Roscoe. Of course, Roscoe won the Italian Grand Prix, his first win in fine style from Roscoe. To be honest, his strategy was on point, but not only that, you have to have the speed as well. So, and again, Hunter's going to be the bridesmaid, not the bride again, as he is second. But it's of course all about consistency. That was one of the major parts of this of these points, was about consistency, isn't it? Of course, 25 for the win, and it goes all the way down to 10th there. Yeah, so yeah, as we said there, yeah, double just congratulating Dave Shaw, yes, and congratulations for all the guys here at IRC. Yeah, Dave, of course, Dave had was married last week, I think. Yeah, it was. It's been a very long week, I must say, with the bank holiday and all. Fizzy is coming into the pits, and yeah, of course, Dave has been seeing the sights in France, and so looks like he's enjoying himself. And into the pits comes up not Roscoe, Physico now. There's too many codes. Steve Yo's in the pits as well, so Steve's coming out on the ultra soft tyre. So McLaren doing a similar strategy. Car 25 is now coming out of the pits. Roscoe's in front of his teammate, and he's up into 5th. So Physico is now on the hyper softs. So that is we speculated about this, but it is so he's going to put in some quali laps now until the end of the race. As you can see, that extra stop has cost Asdog quite dearly there, and he's quite way back. But Physico is now going to keep an eye on Physico, because he is going to be quite strong. Murphy is now 22 seconds behind. Asdog just made the fast off the race at 1:39.9. 6, sorry. But I think that's going to be challenging Physico. So now they're battling on the track, and they're going to be battling the fastest lap stakes as well. Steve Penny, great job, and he's up in the 4th position now. Brilliant drive from Penny. Yeah, we've given the applause to Penny quite a lot, but I think he's just getting better and better with his steering wheel. Of course, he had a couple of issues, didn't he, earlier on in the season with the steering wheel. There's a picture on the group chat about the steering wheel being in several pieces, or it was his pedals or something. So that was a good start to the weekend. I can't remember if for some reason China rings a bell, but I'm not sure. I think it was later on in the season. But yeah, Roscoe is that's 20 laps on those soft tyres. That is brilliant. Is he going to go to the end on the soft tyres? It's going to be a mammoth effort. Of course, Murphy's tyres are a couple of laps younger, but I think he's too far back to worry. But he is on the podium at the moment, and he looks safe at the moment. Roscoe is 5th at the moment, but Stio is catching him up quite quickly. He's on the ultra soft tyres, and Physico is 18 seconds back, and he's going to be fine. But I think they'll keep an eye on Roscoe in the later stages of this race, as he's up the inside. As you have a look, Roscoe is not going to get past around there. And now coming into turn 3, then Roscoe, you see he's going to have better traction there, so he's going to have more drive, and he is up in the 5th position and goes on the outside as up in the 5th now goes Stio, and you can see that in the background. So I think that Penny's going to have 2 orange cars sitting behind him very soon. I think that Steve might be difficult to keep back for Penny, but it's going to be an interesting battle between him and Roscoe, though, isn't it? Because Roscoe's on the soft tyre, and he's only done 40 laps on the soft tyre as well. So, Penny just got to look after those tyres. Got to just keep him, make sure he isn't spinning up the rear tyres, making sure that he isn't damaging the front ones. So, yeah, it's going to be making sure. So he's got to keep up good pace as well, though, isn't he? Because he's in 4th position mode. And this is a valuable trial points for the Sauber team and for Penny himself. And to be honest, he a bit like Asdog, really. I think he needs to. I think he deserves a bit more points than what he's got so far in the season. But as we said, it's been there's a lot of guys have been very unlucky, haven't they, in this season? Steo's been given a 3-second penalty there. Did he? I think that was a bit harsh. I think he was on board with Steo, and he just got a 3-second penalty for running wide. So, but now as you can see, then he smells blood, does it? What's Physico doing? He's down to 17.2 seconds then. So as he said, we've got a couple of. He hasn't done the fastest lap yet, Physico. So oh, look at that bit of drifting there from Steo. Doesn't want to do that too many times because that would really make the tyre slightly unhappy. And yeah, now coming. Oh, he's going on the outside. That's going to be brave. Look at that! As he's on the outside, as you can see, we look onto the right hand side. You'll see McLaren go flying by. Brilliant stuff. Of course, he was on a lot younger tyres there. But yeah, I think that Penny did a good job there. He didn't lose that much time fighting with Steve, and of course that's definitely, to be honest, that's a very mature and very mature driver, isn't it? Indeed, where sometimes you've got to pick your battles because he's on all soft tyres. And Physico, as Roscoe's in the pits, and he's getting on the hyper soft tyre as well. So those on the ultra softs. So Roscoe in the pits on the ultra soft tyres. So Penning is going to the end on the soft tyres, I believe. So this is going to be very good. It's going to be a grand slam finish, isn't it? Or not 24 out of 31. This is going to be a very long end to this race, isn't it? 13 seconds the gap between Stio and Murphy, and is Stio going to be able to get back up in the 3rd? Of course, he was 3rd when he came into the pits. Penny is going. Is he going to the end? To be honest, he can try and go to the. Can he try and go to the end now? If he pits now, he will come out behind at Physico. I think he will be behind Physico, so he'll drop down to 6. So what's he going to do, Penny? So this is intriguing, isn't it? This is very much a strategy battle, which might turn into a proper track battle. So oh yeah, this is going to be very tasty, isn't it? Towards the end of the race, we got Asdog and Roscoe are in close company as well at the back of the field. Which is 7th and 8th, so they're really at the back of the field as such. We've just had such a high attrition rate here, which mainly causes a big smash at just the corner where Penny's gone around now. Yeah, Physico 15 seconds back from Penny. Is Penny going to come in the pits? He was teasing me there, wasn't he? I thought he was. I looked like he was. So he's gone on another lap now. So is Penny just say his finger to himself? Yeah, he's going to stay on the soft tyre and go to the end. Physico is on the hypersoft tyres. He's done 2 laps on those hypersoft tyres. He'll be a lot quicker, but those hypersoft tyres are going to be able to last. Well, that's the question. Yeah, the track has rubbed in now, but yeah, a lot of drivers were a bit reluctant to use those. He's the only man on the hypersoft at the moment, but he is in 6th position. Roscoe is just behind him on the ultra soft tyres in 7th. And Asdog is 8th for the moment. We're keeping an eye on Stio as well. He's under 12 seconds now between Murphy and that's quite a big ask, isn't it? With on lap 25 out of 31, and I think it's quite a big ask as well. We're on board now with Physico going on to turn 7, and you can see then look at that, and just using a bit of the track. Yeah, I think that's where you need to aim, is just go over the curb there, turn 8 and into turn 9. Now you can see this is the proper road. You can see, look at the markings on the floor, on the actual track floor. Into turn 9, then good. Need good exit out there. Coming into turn 10 now. You see, yeah, I'm going to express my dismay again about how they've moved the Singapore sling. Into turn 11 to 12. Now it's the tricky turn 3. I think it's one of the hardest corners on the circuit. And to be honest, I just struggle with that corner. It's because you come over a bit of a crest on the Anderson Bridge, and then you fly over there, don't you? And you can see, I think that's where Castillo got his penalty for running onto that curb, which is very unfair, that is. And now we're coming up to the PK corner. Of course, that's where PK crashed on purpose to give his team leader Alonso the win. We had that massive crash between the two Renault drivers and the Double and Harry there, which is a big shame. And of course, now completely getting very close to that. As you can see, Fisico is definitely on these qualifying laps now, isn't he? The gap between Castillo and Murphy is down to 11 seconds. The gap between Penny and Fisico is down to 11.5 seconds. We're lap 26, we've got 5 laps to go. Prize is just kind of, and that's a 3 second. Remember, penalties as well could come into play here. There haven't been many penalties. Roscoe is just set the fastest lap of the race in his McLaren, and he is also. So if the tyres go off, sorry, I'm scratching my ear there, and I completely completely missed. And yeah, if the tyres go off, then the advantage is Roscoe there, because it's down to 10 seconds now. We're just keeping on the times there on the lessons on this tower, you see, which has been displayed there the whole race. So I don't really need to point that out to you, but yeah, but yeah, but you can see then we've got the gaps now. Then Kumquat has extended his lead to 16 seconds. He's done 21 laps on those tyres. Penny's done 24 laps on the soft tyre, which is a mammoth effort. Ooh, going very wide there. Fisico was there. Roscoe is catching Fisico, I think, or is that me just seeing things? It probably is me just seeing things. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, but Murphy is 19 seconds back from Hunter, so they're a bit spread out at the front now. Steve is 10 seconds behind Murphy. I think it's a bit too much of a big ask there from Steve to get back up in third. Penny is doing a good job in fifth position, a very good job in fifth position. He's done 21 laps on those soft tyres, another mammoth effort. Fisico is on the hyper soft tyres. He is 9 seconds back from Steve, but yeah, those hyper soft tyres don't last very long around here, but he's definitely giving it a good old go. He's now down to 8 seconds. Roscoe is down to 7.7 seconds, and into the pits comes Fisico. So Fisico is back in the pits, so those hyper soft tyres must be screaming enough, so that is allowed Penny then. Penny is now going to, well, might have a well, not an easy run to the end, because he's still got to get those laps further a couple of laps into this race. Roscoe is up into fourth now, up into sixth, sorry. Fisico is we might have a close run thing then between Fisico and Asdog, where Fisico is still coming on the pits. It's quite a long pit lane here, and he's on hyper soft tyres again. So Fisico is really just going for some blitzy laps, isn't he? 15 seconds to go between Penny and Roscoe, so the battle between 5th and 6th. And of course, Roscoe's on much fresher tyres. Again, I think that's a bit too much of a big ask, really, to trouble Penny. But yeah, I think that's something for Penny to keep an eye on. And of course, Asdog is now up into 7th position, and he's going to have to keep an eye on Fisico, because these tyres should get to the end, and he should be relatively quick. We've just seen Asdog go through turn 8 there. And coming up into turn 9 now, so yeah, this is going to be this might be the final battle of the day, really. So of course, all sorts of strategies around here tonight. It's definitely been a variety. If you like a bit of variety of spice in your life, then this is definitely the race to tune into, wasn't it? Definitely, strategy's been all over the place. And of course, we had a safety car as well. Of course, safety car is, we didn't have one last night, even though there was a couple of instances where I thought we should have done. But yeah, well, I don't think we should actually, because that's a really poor statement to say, because we did have, we only had 2 retirements last night, albeit yeah, I thought the one was a sure thing, safety car, and we were on board with Fisico. He is now 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds now, so getting very close to the barrier there. I don't think he's damaged his front wing as much. We're on lap 28 then, as Prize is just having a leisurely drive out in front, so he's going to extend his lead in the championship, as Blas has been enjoying his football match tonight, and I think it's Malabor, yeah, I said it earlier on. And now he's now down to 1.8 seconds. So is Asdog going to be able to defend the rate that Fizzy's catching up to him? I'm not sure if he will. Again, I love the onboard shot. This is just sat on the rear wing here, and as we got another shout, yeah, of course, as Asdog is being hounded down, we got another shout out in the comment section again from Double. Double is saying thanks to Asdog for help with sorting out my setup on the differentials for the race. Big improvement that made. Of course, remember that this league is very competitive, but also they're also very helpful as well. So yeah, because Asdog is sharing his setup there with Double. Double's very good. He's very good with getting his setup. So to getting his set Double, and look at how close they are. We'll come back to that in a minute because we're on lap 29, coming over the Anson Bridge now. It's physical. It's all over the back of Asdog, and he's having a look coming into turn 30 now. He's going to have a better run then. So oh, Asdog, good traction there. So that's great traction from Asdog. Great. He just sprung off the corner quite nicely, and just having a look at the other gaps then, 9 seconds between Murphy and CEO, 10 seconds between Penny and Roscoe. You can see it's a very long race. It's 10 to 10 almost, and I've really earned my money today. And look at Asdog, they're defending the inside now. Of course, Asdog is not going to give this up too easy, is he? Physico is all over the back of him. So this, yeah, this is going. I think Asdog. Oh, that's very close. Did he damage his front wing? Physico is a bit reluctant on the power there. And they're coming up to. He's got three. Asdog's got 3 laps. He's got 3 laps to defend, and you can see that Physico is. Well, Asdog's got a lot of straight line speed, doesn't he? Physico is really. He hasn't got much earth though, so he needs to. Well, none of these guys have. They're top. They're both. This is a pure fight. This is now. Of course, they're on different strategies and times in terms of tyre, but they both want to finish in front of it. So see now they're going to see a bit of, well, I always thought he was going to see a bit of harvesting from Physico, but no, he's still going on. He's still in the. You can see down the bottom side, bottom right hand side is the electric bolt with the earth on. He's going on the outside. Whoa, that's a massive outbraked himself there, and I think that yeah, that was very very late on the brakes from Physico there. Unfortunate there, and. We've seen a lot. I think Kvyat has been done there before as well. As Kumquat there, just drives by as well. So that's unfortunate for. Is it Kumquat going to let him by because he, in terms of the tyre life, I think Kumquat has done several laps on those soft tyre. 27 laps for Steve Penny. That's been immense, really good. And I think that the tyre management of Penny today has been really good stuff to see. And you see Physico is all over the back of Prize here. Of course, this is the first time it's in Prize in about half race. And yeah, so I don't think Prize really wants to get involved in that. I don't think he's noticed that Physico is on the ultra soft tyres. Anyway, yeah, going back, these guys are very competitive. Physico's got 3 second pole there. Yeah, these guys are very competitive, mind, and yeah, so every advantage does help, but of course these guys also help each other out. So Asdog and Double's really good at setting the car up, and because he sets the car up very nicely of how to help his tyres out, and of course these guys also give each other tips as well. I remember being in the and going on the outside there is yeah, Prize Kumquat now starts his final lap then here in Singapore, then just letting Physico go there. So 9 seconds ago between Asdog and Physico. It'd be impressive if he can chase up in 2 laps. But yeah, so I was in the party with Hunter, Dan, and Asdog, Double, and also this man here, the championship leader, Kumquat. And yeah, my teammate Hunter used to give me a setup as well, because I was terrible at setting up the car. Still am. So you'd think after all these races you'd think I would start to learn, but nope. No idea what I'm doing. So yeah, and but Double does have an idea what do we, because Hunter and Double quite similar the way they set up the car. They set up the car very sturdy as well, so Double sets up the car so that it doesn't hurt the tyres as much, which is very good for racing point of view. And Hunter sets up the car for stability as well, so it's also long distance as well. And that's a 10-second penalty there for Physico. I think he's on a bit of a rampage there on the final couple of laps there. So yeah, and yeah, these go, and of course in the, I think I remember I did the first ever test in Abu Dhabi, I believe it was, and yeah, of course we was all I was my first ever race the end of season 4, I think it was, in Abu Dhabi, and Yeah, I didn't really have a clue about selling the car, and then when we was doing practice, all the drivers was in there as well. The majority of the drivers were in there sharing their experience of what they were doing, what ballast they was running. So it was really helpful there. As Roscoe has got a 3-second penalty there. But anyway, enough about that, and enough about how nice these guys are, because it's all about competitiveness. And you know, if we're not first, yeah. And anyway, but talking of first, Prize now will extend his lead in the championship as he slows quite the way down and coming into the final couple of corners, and Prize wins in Baku. Baku in Singapore. A brilliant race there from Price. He's really controlled it from start to finish there, even under the safety car. Hunter comes through to finish second, so 26 laps on the soft tyres. Good innings there. Is Murphy going to be disappointed in the pit under the safety car? Well, he's still got a podium today, so he's finished where he started, so it ain't too bad for Murphy. Murphy finishes third. What about Steve? Now Steve coming to pits about 9 laps ago to go onto the soft tyres. It hasn't worked out quite there. I think he lost the legs towards the end, but Steve will finish full position. Penny, what a drive. He has done 30 laps, so I think he pitted after the first or second lap when it all went slightly wrong, and he has done a fine job, an absolutely fine job looking after those tyres. He has done 30 laps on soft tyres, and that is brilliant tyre management from Steve Penny, absolutely immense. So he's obviously got a nice soft touch with the pedal, and brilliant stuff from Penny, absolutely immense. So 5th position, well deserved for Penny. Round of applause. He might be my vote for driver of the day, to be honest. What about Roscoe? Roscoe finished 6th in the end, of course. Last time winner, of course, broke the monopoly of Prize Kumquat, but he's 6th today. Asdog and Physico would finish in their battle. So we did have a few penalties towards the end, but Asdog will finish 7th in the end. And what about Physico? Physico has got a 10-second penalty, so I think he might remain 8th in the end. So there it is. And that's our final finisher of Physico. We had 8 finishers then out of the 16 that started. Of course, a lot of those retirements was due to the accident under the grandstand there. And Kumquat there has now won 6 of the last 7 races. That is championship winning form if you ever see it. And so Price has now got a huge hand. He's got one hand on the championship, hasn't he? Surely now. Hunter is second, and Murphy third then. So brilliant, guys. Of course, remember, all these guys are basically rookies, aren't they? So they haven't been in the league for very long, and they're all sharing a podium here in Singapore. And then there you see then. So the only man not to get a penalty there was Murphy. So well done to Murphy. Good clean driving today, and so very good stuff. Of course, the who got fast up, I think it was Roscoe did. So 9th position was Snap, so I think that might be his first points of the season. 10th position was Matt. Sven unfortunately retired just after the safety car. Hopefully we'll find out what happened to him. Broke, not that bad. Double and Harry all crashed had a big accident under the grandstand, which caused a safety car, and Koga unfortunately retired after the first lap then. So that's your results there from the Singapore Grand Prix in the Marina Bay then. So what a race it was as well. Of course, we're going to have a couple of drivers that come into the party in a minute, but let's just quickly sum everything up then. So so very well done to Steve Penny. Penny's done a great job today. 30 laps on the soft tyre is pretty impressive. And before we move on, of course, our next race is in Russia, and that's in a week's time. Of course, Wednesday is the Elite League, and of course Thursdays is the Super Guys. And Hunter has joined us in the box now. He's finished second today in the Ferrari. We've also got the winner joining in as well. So we'll start with we'll start with Prize first. So Kumquat, what a drive, Torrance. That looks all under control from here.
It was a bit of a weird race because I was panicking before the safety car, wondering what to do. And then I thought, I'll just put it on the softs and see how far I can go, sort of thing. So it was all right in the end. I don't know what happened at the start with Matt. I saw an arrow and a bit, and then he suddenly just came out of nowhere, like expecting me not to turn in for the corner or something. And then with Roscoe, unfortunately, I was on cold tyres trying to warm up the softs after the safety car and was just about to go in. So yeah, unfortunately, he hit me in the back and got his front wing damage there.
Well, that's a bit of looking at. Is unfortunately we missed that on the stream then. So, but yeah, we did see a bit of a wild lunge there from Matt as well. But yeah, it was quite lucky that was, because I was grimacing. I thought that luckily it hit you on the right part of the car, so it didn't actually affect your race.
How far was the dive? Put it that way.
Yeah,
because I couldn't see him coming from anywhere.
Tom Daly would have been proud of that dive. So yeah, anyway. Right. But yeah, it's to be honest, so that's right. As I was saying in the comms though, that it's racing, and you have to go for it. If you don't go for the gap, then you're not
after that, after that, I was well, obviously Dan was in front of me after the safety car, and I did a bit of a dive bomb on him, unfortunately, to get the first place back. And then after he pit, I was just trying to eke out a gap to Hunter to in case I needed to pit again, but luckily I didn't, so it was all right in the end.
I would have to say I'm going to bring up the championship, because I have to say that you've now got one hand on the trophy. You've had 6 wins in the last 7 races. That is championship form-esque if I've ever seen it. How are you feeling then going into Russia?
Well, first of all, I'm let down by Monza. If one of my losses, put it that way. Yeah, I'm confident with Russia. I like Russia. Hopefully, it doesn't rain there as well. So, yeah, I just don't like the wet weather. So long as it's dry, I'm fine.
Excellent. Well, to be honest, the weather can be very varied over in Russia, so yeah, that'll definitely be something to keep an eye out. And for the remainder of the season, and I think we did touch on this in Monza and also in Belgium as well about the remainder of the season. Are you feeling confident with the tracks to come? We've got Japan, we've got America, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So we've still got a fair long way to go. There's still over 100 points up for grabs, but end of the season, are you feeling confident in all those races? They're proper racer circuits, so I don't think you got a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go for 25 points each one, but yeah, it all depends on everybody else on the day and the weather on the day as well. But yeah, I'm pretty confident with the rest of the tracks on the calendar.
Excellent stuff. That sounds very ominous for the rest of the drivers out there. Well done, well done, Prize. Brilliant stuff. Let's move on to second place now. Hunter, Mr. Consistent. Unfortunately, once again, the bridesmaid and not the bridesmaid. But well, you had but apart from that, I'd say you had a strong race from 7th on the grid up into 2nd. Would you take that?
Yeah. I mean, I got bollocked in qualifying, so my first lap was ruined. Second lap, I was still stuck behind the same person, and I didn't have enough airs. I could have done better at the start, but I had to avoid Matt. I had to go wide to make sure I made it through, so I was still behind a few cars, and then drove it from there. Obviously, the safety car, I had to make a choice. Decided to just put the softs on and run it, and then it took me to the end and another second. So, like you said, it's not the win, but it's the next best thing, and it's the points that I need. So I'll take that and go to, I think it's Russia.
Yeah, Russia's next as well. So we'll ask the same question we did to Prize. How are you feeling in Russia? Is it a strong track for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite quick round there with the right setup, and also Russia's quite prone to a wet race on these games, and obviously we all know I like the wet, so I'll have my fingers crossed for a wet race, but I won't be too fussed either way. So I'll try and bag some more points. I'm trying to cement 3rd in the championship at the minute, so like you say, there's still 4 races left, so.
Yeah, I was going to say that. What was your target? So you're definitely aiming for 3rd now. I think that the front 2 are slightly out of reach, I would say now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Long before I'd have said way before Belgium, maybe even Hungary. I knew the top 2 were too quick for me to catch, so it's mainly 3rd I'm fighting for now.
Well, well done today. Very consistent drive again, as I said, up there on the podium again. So your consistency is starting to pay off, and hopefully, looking forward to next season. Hopefully, that will that'll bag you the golden prize. Well done, Kyle. Going to you then, Dan. third place in the end. And I tell you what, you was the only one that stayed out in under the safety car, which was a bold move there. Did you was you hoping that the soft tyres at the end would come back to you when the others were struggling?
Well, I closed the gap to Kyle, just I didn't close it enough. So my strategy kind of worked, but it was a 50-50, and I gambled.
Yeah, it's to be honest, I think the safety car. It was. To be honest, it was interesting because we was getting very excited there. There was a lot. It made a good debate in the comments. There was a couple of guys saying, "Oh, pit," and other guys were saying, "Don't." So yeah, that was good. That was definitely good. I was. In terms of the race though, because you had some good old fights there. Unfortunately, I missed one overtake on Penny really. So whilst someone was having a trip in the wall, but you did. How did you enjoy the race? Did you enjoy it?
Honestly, I found it boring. I was on my own quite a lot of the time, just closing gaps or keeping gaps. And the overtake on Penny, Penny went wide into the final corner, so I just went up the inside and it was easily done.
I think we actually caught it. I think it was the one before then. I can't remember who was sixth now, but yeah, it's a tough old race, isn't it? This one. This is the longest one in terms of time. So how was your concentration out there? It seemed alright. It's almost all the drivers that remained. It seemed alright. Did you have any troubles concentrating? Because you did say it was a boring race.
No, concentration was fine. I was just trying to keep the gap to Steve, who pitted and put the ultra softs on. So I was just trying to keep a constant gap to him, and that was my main focus.
And as we're coming to the crunch time in the title race now, unfortunately, I think the top two are kind of out of reach now. But what's your target then for the remainder of the season? Where would you like to finish? Fourth, is it? Okay.
Fourth overall, yeah, that would be good. I had a poor start to the season, so fourth overall, I'd be happy with that.
Also, and to us, that's a very good thing to build on for next season as well, isn't it? And yeah, definitely. And going into the final couple of races, then we have Russia next. Confident around there?
Yeah, I like Russia. I really like Russia.
And it can produce some very good overtaking as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to Russia, and that's in a week's time. And yeah, so that's it then from Singapore and the Marina Bay. I hope you enjoyed it, because we certainly did. Actually, it was actually all the way up and down, and of course we had a big old smash as well. So yeah, so I think there might be a bit of fallout to that. Anyway, join us in a week's time then. We've got the Elite Leagues on Wednesday, and then of course on Thursday we have the Super guys again. But from here, it's goodbye.